found Radio Free Tennessee. Your Tony Basilio show will begin momentarily. Keep it locked in right here at TonyBasilio.com and on your Tony Basilio app. And hey, do us a favor. Spread the word. Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. You found the Tony Basilio stream at TonyBasilio.com or on your smartphone or tablet. Another thrilling, chilling, and sometimes spilling edition of the Basilio Show is on the way next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com.
Listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
I think the great William Pattison spoke for all of us today on Twitter, /X/Twitter/X. Bino, Jeff Henderson, what do you call it, Twitter or X?
I still refer to it as Twitter, Tony.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I call it Twitter. So, when he said the following, it is a huge weekend. No reason not to be listening to Fan Run Radio all day today when you've got the Joey Agalar court case this afternoon, when you've got dark mode for Bino's Oak Ridge boy, when you've got Tennessee baseball today, with Tegan Coons on the bump, showing off their brand new pitching staff all weekend long. And then finally, Texas coming to town on Sunday. Bino, how fired up folks and prepared for you? For you, Bino. How fired up folks and prepared are you for that?
Yeah, we got a full boat weekend coming up here, Tony. It's good to have baseball back. It means baseball weather can't be far behind.
Oh, me and my lovely are going out today. We celebrate Valentine's weekend. In true Laura fashion, Bino, you know what she said to me today? You ready for this morning?
Yes,
she
I'm ready.
She said, now, are we really going to the game today, or were you kidding? Now, Bino, She says, you'd like to do this thing and you're on the radio, and I don't know whether you're serious or not. And I said, of course we're going to the game. Now, I don't know how much of the game I'm going to, but like the high today is what, around 60-ish?
Oh, it'll be mid-50s, Tony, when the game starts, and high 40s when it ends, looks like.
So, Brian, it's like a nightly occurrence, right, in college sports now? Does
Here's
this
that way.
always happen?
It's an epidemic. It's an epidemic.
Yes. It's a nightly occurrence now. Vic Schaefer went a step further. He said, hold my brew. I think this thing is really, 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 really interesting, what Vic Schaefer did. And by the way, we've had some developments today because the Agalar deal is this afternoon, and the NCAA counsel, who they listen to the show, the attorney here in town who handles this stuff, might have been down at Mississippi, I don't know, because they said they had to get out of there. He was lecturing the NCAA counsel, and basically the account of it is from local folks down there is in the middle of this guy's 45-minute diatribe, they just got up and walked out. By the way, Lady Vol softball, ESPN2 this afternoon. How about that? How about that, Beanstar?
Just a cornucopia of sports going on, Tony.
But
it's a orange storm.
This is, I've got to say, this is kind of a new thing here. If you'll bear with me, we did this yesterday. I just think this is the beginning of something with these coaches. And I also think that these guys, how do you put this? These guys and gals, I think are beside themselves because they used to have the upper hand. And now it's almost a nightly occurrence because Tad Boyle did it the other day. Where these, who's a friend of the show, where they go before the microphone and they say, hey, I apologize to everybody involved, but I want you to listen to what Vic Schaefer says. Beanstar, I want your thoughts on this.
I've had my butt beat before. When you've done it as long as I have, it's not the first time. It's the first time at Texas, I feel like, where, my team was out toughed. The other team played harder. And just quite frankly, we had no heart. You want to ask me, what does it take to win at this level? What's it going to take for my team? You got to have heart. We got no heart. And I just thought they were tougher, they were more physical, more aggressive. We whine, we complain. Just have no heart. And at the end of the day, that's what is evident to me is we have no heart. We're not tough. And it's really, my staff and I were just really frustrated that we're coaching that. Effort, energy, focus, that's a given, man. That comes with, it used to come with a scholarship, right? Now it comes with hundreds of thousands of dollars. And, man, I'm fixing to go call my AD and tell him, man, I'm embarrassed. I'm sorry, because I am. And that's not the way you represent the University of Texas. And I wear it. I'm accountable. That's my team, but it's so disappointing. It's probably the softest team I've had in years.
There you go. So that's the so here's the deal. The new thing now is for these guys and gals to just come out and say, that's it, I've had it. Like they're on Snap Alert. It is extremely, extremely interesting that this is going on right now, isn't it?
It is, Tony, and I think that this is a byproduct of the fact that used to these coaches had a relationship with everyone on their roster that had been built over a long period of time. They developed their players. They knew their players. In this new travel ball era, they don't know one team from the next. And I think they're sometimes stunned by what they see on the court from a team that's been put together in one off season.
And there's a lot of unplugging, right? Like, one of the things that's really interesting about SEC basketball, women's basketball in particular, but really on the men's side too, is that we're seeing who invests in it and who doesn't. Like, on the men's side, Bri, it looks like some of these teams aren't even trying. When you watch Mississippi State the other night, number 11 out there for Mississippi State, I mean, I'm not sure he could play for any other, if any other, SEC teams. And he's out there getting real minutes for Mississippi State the other night. The kid that we were laughing at in the blog for throwing up the half hook, the right side hook shot, almost took out a cheerleader's eye over there. And then you got Jerome Tang the night before ripping his guys, and then he comes out to his press conference yesterday and says, hey, I made my team run. My team ran gassers and steps, and they ran the entire stadium, and they ran, and then we practiced, and tomorrow we're going to run, and we're going to practice, and then they're going to play a game on Saturday, Bino. I think I would take the other team at this point of the year.
Yes, I might as well, Tony. I saw that. That was one of the better rants when basically he said, I'm embarrassed by, I paraphrase this, by what I saw out there in our uniforms, and there's a bunch of them that won't be in
Won't
it
be here.
year.
Yeah. And by the way, Texas and Tennessee playing the Promo Bowl. Last night, Kelly Jolly Harper returned home. And it's a neat story, you know. I turned that game off in the first quarter. I'm like, look, this is why I don't watch women's basketball night in and night out. We talked on this show about the disparity in these SEC teams. Brian, that was on full display last night. The SEC spent a lot. The Vols spent a lot of money on their roster, Lady Vols. Just like Texas spent a lot of money on their roster. That's why Vic Schaefer's pissed. He even said that. He said these people are making several $100,000. And they're out here walking around. They used to have some sense of power over these people. Kelly Jolly, Brian, is in a spot there where that's a poverty sport at Missouri, and she has zero chance of winning, Bri. Zero chance.
The coach before her pretty much retired in the job and left her with really nothing.
Yeah, they have no chance.
They had 5 girls out there that literally look like me. They all look like me trying to play basketball.
Can't play.
I'm not kidding.
No. Brian, they were making cross-court passes. For anybody watched a little bit of that, I watched first quarter and turned it off. They, in the half court, would get in the half court and make like from the left top of the arc, would try to throw a ball diagonally across, and a Lady Vol would just step in front of the thing and take it coast to coast. They did it 3 or 4 times. It was no chance, Bri.
There was one play where they tried to inbound it underneath Tennessee's basket, and they just threw the inbounds pass to Tennessee's bench, straight to Tennessee's bench, didn't even cross the court inbounds. I've never seen a turnover like that before.
I mean, as Orange Blood Vol says, and he's right, the Lady Vol stood on business last night. If only that little ferret face could have been right there in the stands to suck it up and soak it up, but unfortunately, at Missouri, they ignore that program, just like they ignore baseball. Those are poverty sports at those schools.
These coaching meltdowns. It's February. You see all kinds of. But the season's been a grind, and some of these teams know they're not going anywhere.
Yep.
Their season's likely going to end in the conference tournament. So you're going to see effort. You're going to see games like this. And I think coaches at this time of year, most of them are on snap alert anyway. I think it's been like that for a long time.
And here's the thing, guys. This is the beginning of it. My prediction, Beanstalk, just like I'm predicting to you right now, victory for Joey Agalar, as Marcos Garza said. And Marcos said, hey, the NCAA attorney, who's a huge listener to the show, reader of the blog, I ran into one of his mutual friends over the weekend. He said, Tony, he loved when Marcos was on here saying great things about him the other day and great things about the judge, Haggerty. And, Marcos said, look, when you get that TRO, the other side knows I'm down 14-0 when I walk into court, and I better come with something great. Here's the problem. You're playing home games. And I want anybody to think about this, okay? Generally, when you go before a judge, it's a matter of life, death, or real consequences. Bino, you tell me, what's the real consequence of letting Joey Agalar play another season of football and bringing joy to several 100,000 people in your community? What's the consequence of that, Bino, compared to the other stuff Judge Haggerty has in his court on a daily basis? So I want somebody to explain that to me.
It's about a one tick up on the importance scale, one tick from the bottom.
So today there was an old school judge, and I got to get the backstory on this because a friend of mine called me right as it happened today. They have the verdict comes down at Ole Miss, and the judge sits there for 90 minutes and starts lecturing the NCAA, and they just close their books and get up and walk out because they had to get to Knoxville. And listen, because they got to get up here for the 12:30 deal. Get on the airplane and get up here. Might even be listening right now. I don't blame them. You got a judge that lives in that area. These guys are playing home games they can't win. They're playing home games they can't win. So TRO's been granted, I guess, in that case, and then the real today was, I guess, the argument. The NCAA they've tried the NCAA route, Ole Miss has, for keeping Chambliss eligible, but they're going to play home games. Just like with Bediako, he played a home game. That showed UT how to do this thing. Just like Tennessee's going to play a home game this afternoon. And do you think the Vols win at home? What do you think, Bino? Think the Vols win at home today?
Yes, Tony. Yes. I'm playing the Vols. I'm looking for it as we speak on VIP.
And here's the thing. What's the harm? Anybody tell me right now, you're that judge, you're Haggerty, okay? Are you letting a perp walk? Are you letting a pervert walk out of your courtroom that's going to harm to his community? Are you letting a violent criminal go? Are you letting somebody that steals everything that's not bolted down go? Are you letting somebody with several drunk driving arrests go out into the community? Or are you letting Joey Football, a.k.a. in 2026, Joey Heisman, strike a pose? Let your body move to the music. Come on, pose. Let your body go with the flow. Come on now. Lieutenant Martin Colombo said the Vols are minus 900. Minus 900 over at VIP play.
On the money line, I'm playing them.
Because it's all home games. As the great Mike Huguenin joins on this Friday, presented by our friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, solid gold. Solid gold. Last night, Tom Gouffon texted me. It was kidding me about the Lady Vol game, which I love. I've got this thing where people think I'm like I'm not against the Lady Vols at all. I just didn't like her saying what she said about her team the other day, saying your team's a bunch of quitters. But then a bunch of other coaches in the sport said, hold my brewski, because I'm going to come out and I'm going to say similar things about my team, including Jerome Tang the other night, Hughie. That's a new thing now. These coaches get up on the podium now and just rip their players, Hughie. I guess because they're getting paid. Is that what we're seeing here? Everybody's ripping their players now.
I think that is a major cause. If you're getting X percent of the NIL money I'm paying out, you better perform to what you're getting. And I think that definitely is. I think more coaches are going to be willing to criticize their players publicly because I think it's directly related to money. Again, it goes back to if you're making 20% of our quote unquote payroll, you better produce 20% at the 20% level. So I think that's going to not go away.
Second matter of the day, we talk about the courts. We got the courts. We got what goes on in the courts. That's in our league right now. And then we've got, because the Vols are in the middle of the Dregs of Society portion of their schedule. Thank goodness for Chef Boyardee. Because, we've taken our lumps here, like a lot of teams have. But now we're in the Dregs of Society. We'll talk about that here in a second. Because there's some jobs in the league they're going to open up. But the great Mike Huguenin joining, breaking it down scientifically, moving right to left and left to right across your device. He's pretty freaking next level, if you ask me. Hughie, today, the NCAA and Tennessee get their day in court. Earlier this morning, a judge down in Oxford lectured the NCAA. They closed their books and got up and walked out because they had to get to Knoxville. The accounts go. Hughie, in your humble opinion, the NCAA has zero chance in these home games. What's the harm to college football if a Chambliss plays next year, if a Joey Agalar plays, and even if a Pavia plays? What's the great harm? Is there a harm?
I'm not sure individually in a vacuum there's any harm, but I think the big perspective would be at what point does all this stop? I mean, we saw Charles Bediako play 5 games before he was ruled ineligible. The dude had been out of college for 3 years, and he entered the draft, for God's sake, played in the G League. So at one point does all this stop? The NCAA, the Bediako case on its face looked like, of course he's not going to be ruled eligible. Oh my God, he got ruled eligible. At least in the Chambliss situation, you could say that, this was medically related. There's the linebacker at Montana. Next year, he'll be a 9th-year senior from his time at USC and Montana. But, in that situation, the kid has earned 3 degrees. And he's had, I think, five major surgeries.
Oh, that poor kid. I didn't realize all that when I was bagging on him the other day. How many major surgeries? Did you say 5 major surgeries, Hughie?
Oh, 3 major surgeries in 5 years. Caused him, he had a torn ACL in August, which
and
kept
3
him
degrees.
out that fall. Then he had a complication, which kept him out the next season.
Yep.
He's had a tough run.
Hey, so, Bino, what's your favorite 3 degrees tune, real quick? Because I want to test Hughie's, see if Hughie likes some old Philly soul. What do you got, Bino?
Oh, shoot, Tony. When will I see you again?
In A minor. Hughie, what do you think of When Will I See You Again by the 3 Degrees, in your humble opinion?
A great song, not a bad song.
That's my man right there. See, Hughie likes it. Hughie's an alt-country guy. But here's the thing. Great music crosses lines. And that's a great song. I mean, it's well-performed. It's beautiful. The arrangements, the gamble, the huff. You put it on your hi-fi, and you want to listen to that song in vinyl and listen to what the MFSB orchestra is doing in the background there, and it will absolutely tickle your ear. Here's the thing, Hughie.
MFSB, yeah. I guess it's Mothers, Fathers, Sisters, Brothers.
That's right.
But I guess there's also another. Could be an acronym for something else as well. But
that's for the third hour.
Anyway, the Chambliss thing. It's interesting that the judge who ruled on Chambliss is an Ole Miss grad.
That's right.
The Bediako judge, the first one was a Alabama grad and an Alabama booster.
That's right.
It's sort of like home field advantage. So that's that's part of the thing with the NCAA now as well. They've commented on, you know, like you said, they're having to fly into Oxford, they're having to fly into Knoxville.
Yep.
These aren't in Indianapolis. So my presumption would be that Aguilar does get his extra year. So it makes the quarterback situation in the SEC vastly different. We were talking last week about if Chambliss and Aguilar weren't there, what does that mean for Ole Miss and Tennessee? Well, I think, you know, that talk has gone away. I still think there's a lot of questions about Ole Miss with Kiffin gone. So, but the NCAA, it loses a lot. And I think it goes back to your original question. Got off track here. Sorry about that. The idea that at what point, you know, you could, I guess, technically have, I guess the nightmare scenario in college basketball, you have 3 guys who played in the G League, and one of them is 28 years old. In college football, it's 5 years to play 4, but they got 6 starters who were in their 6th year. When is this going to end?
Yep. I got news for you, and this is just news, okay? This is just news. You're never going to lose a home game in court. You lose a home game in court to these guys, you're in big trouble. Now, the question then becomes, once a final judgment is rendered, will we have an appeal at a federal level? This is what Marcos Garza asked us brought up last week. Because then, if you get involved in a federal court and the case is expedited and it's heard quickly, you could have a quarterback for 3 or 4 games next season and your quarterback be taken off the field, which is a similar thing to what just happened to Diaco.
Does the NCAA have the intestinal fortitude to take something to the federal level? Because you would presume that if something's decided on the federal level and it goes against the NCAA, it would – I don't know that much about law, but wouldn't that make it easier for other courts to say, well, look at this case?
You know, you're right. That's the thing about it. But his point was, federal court, even if you decide to go that route, he was telling me, because he's experienced with it, he said they don't move at your pace. So they can move at a glacially pace if they want to. And the calculus that these schools are all making that are doing this, Hughie, is that they're going to be free and clear. They're going to be free and clear. Chambliss gets through this, he's going to be free and clear to play. If Joey gets through this, he'll be free and clear to play. I mean, who knows? You know, I think the NCAA would fight it, Hughie. I would think they would. I would think that they would. Simply
in the Bediako situation, there's no question about that. But you know, that's on a totally different level.
No doubt about it.
Than Chambliss and the kid at Montana and Aguilar. I mean, this guy left school, had been out of college for 3 years, played in the G League, which the last I looked was was professional basketball, and he comes back to college. So, and you know, Alabama goes 3-2 with him too. So I'm not sure that's the guy you wanted to. Bring back, but it's all this stuff. I would not want to be an NCAA lawyer because if you win a case, no one knows about it. But when you lose, it's look at what's happened at Ole Miss. Look at what happened at Alabama the first time around. So it's an interesting conundrum for the NCAA in a lot of ways.
I said this, look, I was out the other night at a function, and a guy stopped me, and he said, hey, the NCAA attorney that's handling this Tennessee case listens to your show, reads your blog every day. And basically their side of the story is they know they're playing games they can't win here in these courts. Because this thing I was asking before you jumped on, and it bears repeating because I don't want anybody to think about this. If you're a judge and all day long you're dealing with criminals, and you're dealing with either violent crimes or white-collar crimes where people get their life savings stolen from them, embezzlement cases, extortion, or you're dealing with real things in society like real perps like sexual offenders or violent criminals, what is the harm in letting Joey Agalar have another year of playing college football and making the people in your community smile a little bit and lecturing the NCAA, Hughie. Juxtaposed to that. Think about that for a second.
Interesting.
What's
that's
the harm,
interesting,
right? What's the harm?
That's an interesting question, no question. But you also wonder if there's some Tennessee fans out there who are like, how in the heck did Trinidad Chandler get his 6th year? This is ridiculous. Oh, good. Joey Agalar got one too. So, I would love to see a situation involving Mississippi State where they're asking for an extra year and they didn't get it or something. But because that's possible. So, but no, the whole plus. I think the bothersome, back to your original question 10 minutes ago, it's bothersome to me a little bit that so much about college athletics now plays out in a courtroom rather than on the field. Now, you know, we've all bemoaned the boardroom aspect of college sports.
Yep.
Everything that's decided in the TV, front offices, all that kind of stuff, and that's annoying.
Yep.
But here we are. It seems it's like natural now. Oh yeah, let's take that to court and win. That's oh my God, that sort of makes your skin crawling away. The fact, no, I don't mean individually. I mean the idea that there's so much with college athletics today that has to be decided in a courtroom.
That's it. It's a game. Well, hey, somebody's got to govern them. Greg Sankey's not governing them. The commissioner of the thing's not governing them. They don't have any more rules. Nothing matters anymore. And what is the harm? Bino, you were a guy that says that Joey Agalar and these guys have played enough football. Are you still there, Bino? Or are you coming around to my way of thinking, which is, what's the difference? Who cares? If UT wants them to play and they can keep the other two quarterbacks over there healthy along with Lagrange Orange, the Staub kid, let's let it roll. Who cares? It's their business.
I'm the same place I've been, Tony. The Tennessee fan in me always takes over, and I think Tennessee's better with Joey Aguilar, so I hope he gets another year. But the college football fan in me does not want guys that are 7, 8 years removed from high school playing college football. I don't think that's good for the game. I really don't. I've got a quick question for both of you. Wouldn't the best answer be that, hey, you've got 5 years to play 5, or tops, you've got 6 years to play 6 from the time you graduate high school? I think that's the answer. But do either of you think that would hold up if anybody challenged it?
Let's say it's 5 to play 5 or 5 to play 4. If it's 5 to play 5, well, I missed 2 years because of injury, so I want those 2 years back. And I didn't get my NIL money those 2 years because I was hurt. So you're costing me money. So I don't think the NCAA can make a blanket rule like that.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because you're not collective bargained. I tell you a rule I like. If you get a degree, you get an extra year. So the kid at Montana, he's got 3 degrees. He's going to play 9 years along with his 3 surgeries. I have no problem with that kid doing that. That kid could go play till he's 35 for all I care. He's got 3 degrees. How many degrees do you have, Bino? How many degrees do you have?
I've got about a 3/4 of one.
And after hanging out with me for about 20 years, how much gray matter you think? Hey, Hughie,
I've got 1 degree, Tony.
Hey,
I'm a 1 degree.
Brian, read your number to Hughie, because Brian's done some research into the frequency that road teams are winning on the road. As Mike Huguenin presented by our friends, and Brian, get that ready. Gufon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Why are they a legend? Since 1887, 139 years of living volunteer, 5 generations. I mean, that's longer than the NCAA's been lording over this mess they call the NCAA. That's a long, long time, boys and girls. Residential and commercial, personalized service. Other corporate movers simply will not and cannot provide you. They're going to pay close attention to you. Gold Brick Joe, they moved him a couple weeks ago. Gold Brick Joe said, Tony, if you want me to do a commercial for you, for these people, I'll be glad to do it. I said, Joe, the whole idea behind doing a commercial for somebody is to get them some business. So thank you, but no thank you to Gold Brick Joe. But they are Gold Brick Joe tested. They are Gold Brick Joe approved. And they're online at goofon.com. And, Hughie, you love the fact that there's a guy out there named Gold Brick Joe, one of my buddies.
I shudder to think how he got that nickname.
Well, we had a guy in our audience by the name of Roger, who is a special needs guy, and Gold Brick Joe took him everywhere and was very sweet toward him and very generous toward him, and I took to giving him an ironic nickname of Gold Brick Joe. And Roger passed away, but Gold Brick Joe continues to have his name. Brian Hartman, read to Hughie the frequency with which road teams are defeating. Before you read the caveat, Bri, just read the first number to him. Because Hughie, this is crazy what's going on in our league right now.
Road teams in SEC games are 42 and 46.
What do you think of that,
And we
Hughie?
still have 3 weeks to play in the regular season.
Hughie, 42 and 46. And favorites have covered 12 of the last 13 spreads on the road in this league. Road favorites, Hughie. What do you make of that? What's going on in our league?
The Big Ten and ACC are similar in terms of percentage of victories by road teams in the league. I think a big part of that is there is a lot of garbage at the bottom of the ACC, Big Ten, and SEC. When a Florida goes on the road, it generally wins anyway. When Arkansas goes on the road, when Vandy goes on the road, when Tennessee goes on the road, if they're, there's 1/3 of the league that, you might be playing at Oklahoma, or you might be playing at South Carolina, or you might be playing at LSU. That's not a big deal. The bottom of the league is truly bad, and the good teams are taking advantage. The one league that's really not of the Big Four, the Big 12, the home teams generally are winning, and I would argue that's because the Big 12 is exceedingly balanced, while the ACC, Big Ten, and SEC have a lot of garbage at the bottom.
Brian's second piece is going to empirically prove what you just said. Go ahead, Brian.
22 of those 42 wins are against the bottom 5 teams in the league. That would be the Mississippi schools, LSU, Oklahoma, and South Carolina.
Hughie,
so over half are against those.
I want to come back in my next life as that Hubbard guy. I want to go to college. I want to play on a team with 4 absolute stiffs, or in his case, 12 stiffs. And I want to play in a league where I play in a team where I just get to go out and freewheel. And the guy acts like he's playing in the YMCA. And he's an awesome player, by the way. Don't get me wrong. But some of these teams, what is going on with some of these teams in this league, Hughie? Are they just not spending money on the sport and just putting it all on the football?
The coaches are not putting together very good. They're not spending their money wisely. Let's go outside the SEC. Look at Georgia Tech. You would think, Damon Stoudemire was a pretty good NBA player for a while, great college player. Georgia Tech is, oh my God, they're beyond rancid. They might not even qualify for the ACC tournament, and their recruiting class in terms of freshmen and transfers was like a solid B+, but they don't play together at all. It's a mishmash, and I think roster management is important, obviously, but I think roster management, the idea that the pieces fit, is sometimes overlooked. The fact that Mississippi State is this bad, I'm a little bit surprised because I think Chris Jans knows what he's doing. The idea that Ole Miss is this bad is surprising because Chris Beard might not be a great guy, but I think he's a high-level coach. I'm not sure about the money being spent in Ole Miss, especially considering how much they spend on football.
Yep,
LSU, that's the LSU. That's just a night. I mean, they're in games, but they can't close them out. And South Carolina's just horrible.
Bino, your guy McMahon. McMahon went to Bino's high school. I called McMahon's This is how old I am. I called his games in high school. We've had him on the show, and I've laughed about that before. What's happened to him at LSU is no laughing matter because he's down there at a time where, and I'm not in my blog today over at tclub.team, I rank this. I'm being serious now. Football's number 1 on their campus. Let's do the rankings here. Football's number 1 on their campus. Number 2 is their baseball team. Number 3 is their women's basketball team. Number 4 is their gymnastics program, and their basketball expenditure is probably 5th on the list, Hughie. They don't spend any money in hoops. They don't care about
the number of players and the money they're getting. It's a bad. It's a bad squad.
Bad squad, bad job.
Yeah, see, I think. I think LSU. They were good under Will Wade because they cheated.
Yes.
Dale Brown had a really nice long run.
Cheated.
He cheated.
Yes.
I mean, they had Stanley Roberts, Chris Jackson, and Shaq on the same team.
Yes.
And they lost in the second round of the NCAA tournament.
Yes. In Knoxville, no less.
Yes, I was at that game.
Were you really? In the old Thompson Bowling Arena? Yep.
They lost to Georgia Tech.
That's exactly
Kenny
right.
Anderson,
Lethal Weapons
Kenny
3.
Anderson, Dennis Scott, and Brian Oliver. But no, I think, you're talking about coaches getting fired. The only thing that might save Matt McMahon is the fact that do they really want to pay a combined like $70 million to 2 coaches who aren't coaching anymore, given the fact that they're paying Kiffin so much and giving him so much for his roster. I think Lamont Paris is going to get fired at South Carolina. I think Porter Moser is definitely going to get fired at Oklahoma. I'm not sure about. I don't think they're firing Chris Jans or Chris Beard. Georgia can't get rid of Mike White because they just gave him an extension. The extension figures came out Wednesday morning. $3.9 million a year to Mike White. That night they lose to Florida at home by 20. And Georgia had to pay Florida because technically when they hired him, he was still in the contract of Florida. So, I think part of it, there's the coaching in the SEC. There's reasons to wonder about the coaches in football. I would argue that the coaches in basketball all had better track records when they were hired, except for maybe Stephen Pearl. But it has not necessarily paid off, and I think that goes back to you can be a good X's and O's guy, but you also have to have roster management skills and the NIL money to put those roster management skills to work. And I'm not sure that some of these guys have that. I think they have one, but not both.
And Bino, that's why Rick Barnes this year is going to win 22 games again with a kind of a down team. Isn't that remarkable? Think about that, Bino. Think about what that man's done here. The pillar of consistency he's been.
Yeah, hey, we haven't seen a consistent run of success here like Barnes has shown, Tony, except for a short period. Well, obviously Mears in a different era, but a short until it imploded on Pearl. I think Matt McMahon, it would probably be a blessing for him to be fired and get back to a level where he'll be supported and could be successful, have some joy in coaching. I don't think that'll be a terrible thing. And I think Hubbard should transfer to LSU and his dad should coach, and it'd be just like Maravich, the return of Pete Maravich.
Well,
he'd be the only one that could play.
By the way, my friends at Gufon Moving and Storage, shout out to Taylor, 5th generation. That's 5 generations, Ewans. Think about it. Can you think about back to 5? They can. They've been doing it for 5 generations. Secure vaulted storage. The newest offering, commercial storage logistics. Receiving storage delivery services for all your business logistic needs. They can be your personal to and from. Find out more at Gufon.com. So much more than storage. Incredible what they're doing. Check out the link over at tclub.team. Time for the mover of the week. Hughie, what you got, buddy?
One this week because there's so much to talk about. But I think I'm going to go they actually sort of moved up to number 1 in the poll. I'm going to go Michigan basketball. These guys I don't know if you watched the Northwestern game the other night. They were on the road. They trailed by 16. They won by 12. That was after they blew Ohio State off the floor. That was after they beat Penn State by 40. This is just a juggernaut of a team, coached by Dusty May. He has done a great job in the portal, bringing in guys. His top 4 scorers are guys who all played elsewhere last year.
Yep.
A UAB guy, a UNC guy, an Illinois guy, and a UCLA guy.
Yep.
It's just, for all that, Michigan is a football school. I know they've won a national basketball title, but it's a football school. I don't think anybody, unless you live in Michigan, is really a big Michigan fan. But you watch them play, they're destructive to other teams. They run, they out-rebound you, they block your shots. They're actually pretty solid from three-point range. They've won 9 in a row. Before that, they had won 12 in a row. They're 23-1, and they're leaving. Yeah, again, the Northwestern game, they trailed by 16 and won by 12. I mean, they had 2 runs of at least 16-1 in that game. They're a fearsome opponent. The Big Ten is not a bad basketball league. They're on a totally different level than everybody else in that league.
Hughie, you're my main man. I love and appreciate you. I hope you have a Dwight Gooden and enjoy the basketball weekend, my friend. And by the way, you watching any of the Olympics?
There's a lot of good stories. Curling.
Love it. It's the best.
Is that even a sport?
It's the best. You know what? My man Ken Palm has doubletakeout.com. His site, Ken Palm's site, started as a curling site. That's where he got his formula. And they put some basketball. Did you know that?
They called a stone in the upper left corner on that home page. But there were some photos that resurfaced.
Yep.
The last couple of days from the U.S. Curling Championships from the late 1970s.
I love them.
The dude throwing the stones got a lit cigarette in his mouth. And it's like, this is not a sport, man.
Well,
and the guy looks like a guy who would be smoking, during a softball game on the field. So, but the luge people are insane. The ski jump people are a little bit crazy. But yeah, it's entertaining to watch some of this stuff.
Guys, let's think about this. If we took a kid right now, like let's say a 23-year-old kid listening to us, okay? Getting ready to start their professional life, 24, 25, that age. And you transported them back into the 70s where we grew up. How much smoke would they realize it was in our lives on a daily basis?
You could smoke on planes back then.
Have you thought about that, Bino? Have you ever thought about how much smoke we inhaled as kids?
Absolutely, Tony. I thought about it.
We had a little broom closet that my Italian family in our little 1,100 square foot house we lived in, 6 of us. We had a little broom closet, Hughie, we watched TV in. And my brother and my father smoked 2 packs a day. I was like an ashtray as a child. I bet my lungs were black at the age of 11, Hughie. I mean, it's amazing. And then everywhere you went, people smoked. I remember
smoking in restaurants, smoking in the grocery stores,
people
smoking in the McDonald's,
walking in
smoking
the church.
outside at the baseball field.
Outside of church,
everywhere
they would light up. Yeah, outside of church, they would light up. At the baseball stadium, they would light up. We would be playing high school baseball, and there'd be people down the line smoking, right there, just smoking heaters. Everywhere.
How about in the car in the winter?
Mm-hmm.
You'd be in the car. They'd be burning the house down. And the only air you got was when they cracked it to throw the butt out, and then it hit you in the arm when you were in the back seat.
Not to mention what Back to the Phones just said, Cub Coda had it great with Brownsville Station. They were all smoking in the boys' room.
Yep. Exactly.
Hughie, love you. Thanks.
All right, talk to you next week. Thanks, man.
And Seymour Joe says that they had a smoking section in this high school. Yeah, we had a smoking area in our high school. Did you have one, Bino, where the kids could go smoke?
Yeah,
absolutely. Do they still do that now?
I don't know, Tony. I don't know.
Hernandez lit up a smoke. We used to light up on the Mets bench. Yeah, guys used to smoke. The curling thing, the video the guy is setting a stone and he's got a ciggy. He's got a ciggy right there in the side of his lip, and he's setting that stone. He's getting ready to turn that stone and let it go. That was pretty gross, man. Pretty gross. I'll tell you what's not, though, is taking care of your sweetie at Valentine's. And ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what my friends at Bradley's are all about. Bradley's and the Basilio show. Today, tomorrow. 141 North Peters Road, 138 Biddle Farms Boulevard in Farragut, next to Tupelo Honey. Strawberries available today and tomorrow, and all kinds of great gifts, too, at Bradley's Gift and Home. What an amazing, amazing place. Just full of love when you walk in there, and what Brad and Joy have done. And shout out to my friends as well at Calhoun's, who will be serving you all Valentine's weekend. They've got you covered as well. Check out their website for more. But we love you. We appreciate you. We're going to come back on the other side. And if you want to get in, 865-200-5402, because my question for you is this. Why not Joey Agalar, and why not now? Let's do this thing after this. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon.com, or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gouffon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires. Just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Cold weather is here. Is your heating system ready and running efficiently? Don't wait to find out. A simple tune-up now can help prevent costly breakdowns when you need your heat the most. Right now, Pipe Wrench is offering a $79 heating system tune-up to keep your home warm, safe, and worry-free all winter long. Our certified technicians inspect, clean, and fine-tune every part of your heating system for maximum efficiency and comfort, helping you avoid surprise breakdowns and high energy bills. And with Pipe Wrench Home Service's same-day service guarantee, you won't be left out in the cold waiting for help. Your comfort isn't just our job, it's our promise. Schedule your $79 heating system tune-up today at PipeWrench.com before winter decides to test your heater. Pipe Wrench Home Services, trusted in Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and neighboring communities for over 20 years. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free. For standard systems only, visit PipeWrench.com for details.
TB here with Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Tell them about it, Alan.
Hey, I'm Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore is the best, and right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. The best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com. Living Vol fan, when it's time to get ready for 2026 and what's ahead, there's only one place. It's Alumni Hall, the best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands, Nike, Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. And check this out. All the basketball stuff that the Tennessee basketball fan could ever need. Some great Tennessee baseball stuff as well. Any season, any reason. Alumni Hall, 3 locations in Knoxville. Also Murfreesboro, Bristol, and now open, of course, in Johnson City. And anytime online, alumnihall.com. Say it loud, say it proud. The ultimate volunteer shopping experience. Alumni Hall. Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the volunteer state by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Bradley's and your Tony Basilio show are a Knoxville tradition. And these days, just like Tony B's show is taking off like a rocket ship, so have my friends at Bradley's. Sure, they still have all the delicious chocolate you're used to, like the chocolate-covered popcorn and the assortment boxes. They're now called Bradley's Gift and Home, and they have so much more than chocolate. Bradley's Gift and Home has all kinds of amazing curated gifts, jewelry, candles, and other for her gift items that will keep you from having to go anywhere else. Guys, trust me, as Basilio would say, Bradley's Gift and Home have taken it to the next level. And remember, Bradley's will have freshly dipped chocolate-covered strawberries in milk and white chocolate at both of their locations, 141 North Peters Road and 138 Biddle Farms Boulevard in Farragut next to Tupelo Honey. Strawberries available February 13th and 14th. See you at Bradley's Bradley's Gift and Home. See our website, shopbradleys.com.
I'm pretty excited, Bri. Bri, you excited for LSU coming to town?
Definitely.
Dark mode tomorrow night, Bri. You excited for dark mode? Are you pumped?
I'm surprised they're doing dark mode on a game like this, though. I figured they'd save that for one of the bigger games, or at least a better team.
How about you, Bino? You excited for dark mode tomorrow?
Not terribly, Tony. I think they did checker TBA on the night that it snowed, right?
Yep. They did checker TBA on the night it snowed, and that didn't go too well. They're doing dark mode tomorrow night against a team that, well, I mean, you could wear dark for them. Because as one of our callers once said, their team, I mean, it's like going to a funeral. If you remember those days, Bino, we had a caller that would call in and talk about funerals. So it's baseball season. Bino, how locked in or not will you be on Tennessee's opener later this afternoon? As I will be there.
I will likely watch most all of the opener, Tony. I'm anxious to see the newcomers, see the initial starting lineup, and kind of watch how that evolves as the season goes along.
I want to see the Abernethy kid get off to a great start, lock down a job, be great, and be the leadoff hitter from pillar to post. Let's have some speed at the top of the lineup.
I'm hopeful that Taylor is right and Antigua can lock down the shortstop position. If he can, then I think that frees Newstrom up to play some outfield, moves Marin to second, which I think will be our best defensive team. But I mean, Antigua certainly has to swing the bat better than he has to this point in order for him not to be a liability in the lineup. I don't care how good he is defensively. He's got to hit it better than he's hit it so far.
He's pretty classic looking, too. I kind of like Antigua in the West Indies. By the way, let me just do this live and legal here.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Yeah, I missed a break in the A block, so I'll tell you this today. As Cassidy said, Henry Ford going to pull a Bob Horner today and hit 4 homers. I predict that we will be giving out Model Ts before the year's over there. If somebody's Henry Ford vintage Model Ts, if somebody's paying attention. In the new stadium, do they Bino, in the new stadium, do they Bino, have something better for the students this year? Or is the cattle chute coming back again? I wonder.
Who? For who?
The new stadium for the kids, for the students.
For who?
For the students.
I think the students are pretty much an afterthought in everything that occurs in college athletics now.
Sad, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's a totally sad deal. Brian Hartman, how important in your weekend, I want you to rank all these things for me because we have so much stuff going on. You got Agalar, Lady Vol softball. You've got the men on Saturday night with a guaranteed win. You've got basketball, as we said, tomorrow. You got the Sunday game with Vic Schaefer, who cut a promo on Texas, who just lost to Vanderbilt. Rank them, Bri. Rank them for me. In your world, order of importance. Then we'll go to the phones. Rank them, Bri. This is all subjective.
Aguilar first.
Yep.
I'll take the dark mode basketball game second.
Yes.
I'll rank the Texas women's game third.
Yes.
And the start of the baseball season fourth. And I'll bring it up with the softball, but that doesn't mean I don't
No, they're all
think
great.
that any of them are important.
No, they're all great.
Or not important.
That softball team's dynamite. Bino, rank them.
I'll go Aguilar first. The LSU basketball game second, and the opener for baseball third.
Agalar.
Everything else is tied after that.
Say it again. Agalar what?
I'll go Aguilar first. I'll go LSU Tennessee men's basketball game second.
Yep.
And the baseball opener third.
I'm going to go Agalar. I'm going to go the baseball opener simply because there's just something about last couple of years I've gone down to spring training for the Sillies. There's something about emotionally. Marcos and I were talking about this because yesterday we were talking because a dear friend of mine needs his services. But there's a thing where he and I both have this thing in the winter where you just get kind of the blues. But man, he said in a couple weeks it's my Super Bowl. I said, what's that? He said, when that clock goes forward. When pitchers and catchers report, and when it's baseball time around here the last couple years, I can see clearly now the rain is gone. It just feels different. So to me, I'm going to go Joey Football, who I am 1,000% in favor of. I want him to play. I want him to play well. I want him to ball out. I'm practicing total team discipline. I'm practicing party discipline. That's my guy right there. I love him. Joey Agalar to the playoffs. Joey Agalar for the Heisman. Joey Football. Dose. Go for Dose, Joey Agalar. Dos Equis and Joey Agalar. Go for Dose. I'll put that at number 1. Glow up, don't blow up to Josh Elander. That should be the slogan. Glow up, don't blow up. Josh Elander, who had a glow up when he was introduced as the new head baseball coach, shaved that beard. His beard's back, right, Brian? Now that he got the job, he's back with his look.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was just for the press conference. So I'm going to go with that today, even though there will be zero, and I mean zero competition in that game. Zero, number 3. I'm going to go the Lady Vols in Texas. And we're going to call that the Promo Bowl. Brian, what time's that game start on Sunday?
I think it's 3 o'clock on ABC.
I got that one circled.
I've
been waiting for it all week. What time?
Quitters versus Heartless.
What time's it start, Bri?
3 o'clock on ABC.
Yeah. I've been waiting for it all week. I've got it penciled in my calendar. What time's it start again, Bri? 3? Check this out. I'm thinking about having a watch party for that. For the Lady Vol game on Sunday. We really ought to do a Lady Vol watch party for these gals. That's number 3. Number 4, I'm going to put that basketball game Saturday night, dark mode. I love Matt McMahon. He's a great guy. You almost, Bino, want to wear a black armband in honor of him to dark mode. You know what I mean? That's a shame. To get a Division I job at a place that doesn't want to compete, that won't compete, that kind of stinks, Bino, for him, isn't it? Because that Saturday night game is going to be a kill job. Yes or no, Bino?
I would think so, Tony. And yes, it does stink for Matt.
Yeah.
But I think he's a solid basketball coach, and he's going to land on his feet somewhere where it'll be more of a joy for him to coach.
Number 5, Lady Vol softball, which commences here momentarily. You know what the LSU is going to do, which really stinks? They're going to try and get the guy from NC State back down there, something like that, and they're going to spend big money on that coach. They're going to give him money to play with. You know? Those are my 5, though. That's how I'd rank them. But I am full Joey football for the Heisman Trophy. Let's go. Alan Ward has said it. He's calling him Joey Heisman. I might jump on that. Why not him? Why not now? Why not us? Why not now? Besides the fact that schedule's impossible. That schedule's hard, Bino. Our schedule. Anybody in the SEC that can play this year, we're playing.
Yeah, so it's on the surface, it's as difficult and challenging a schedule as we've seen here.
Yep.
Like I said, the only one that I would even compare to it would be 1980. The first year I sat in the seats I sit in now, when it was basically a promo for selling those seats.
And Bino, you've heard the term thrill a minute. That was a kill a minute that year.
I mean, Tennessee actually played those teams closer that year than they did the following year when they went on the road. So
now, that was a kill a minute. When they went out to USC, a friend's
went
father,
to Georgia.
A friend's father told me he learned the USC fight song that day because he said he heard it about every 5 minutes. When I was at UT, we went to his house in Chattanooga, and he said, we knew the fight song by the time that thing was over. I knew the melody. We knew the words. He said that band played and played on that day out there in Southern California. Let's go to the phones. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
What do you say, Tony, Bino, Brian, TGIF? It's opening day, my
What's up,
friend.
Taylor?
Thank God it's baseball, Taylor.
Happy opening
Baseball
day,
is
Taylor.
back.
Baseball is back.
Happy-
Our baseball Vols are back again.
Tony, I think I have as much chance of hearing the theme song to Top Gun about 4:32 today than thinking about you watching a second of the Lady Vols on Sunday afternoon. What do you think about that?
I'll tell you right now, I will be watching the Lady Vols on Sunday afternoon. I'll be locked and loaded in that because it'd be a great basketball game. You got 2 coaches that have absolutely ripped the hell out of their teams this week, and how will each respond? 2 tremendous traditions, 2 really of the harbingers of the sport, along with Louisiana Tech, and may I say Cheney State back in the day. But Louisiana Tech, Old Dominion back in the day,
Go Monarchs.
Texas. Yeah, go Monarchs. That's exactly right.
Tony, the only thing I would like to talk about less today than the Lady Vols is likely dragging Negaday, but that's another story for another day, my friend.
Negaday really embarrassed himself the other night, and we have kicked it up. We have created a ticket for Commissioner Bockwinkel, who will come out with a ruling hopefully at some point.
Well, maybe Rusty should be on ticket 1A as well. Tony, you asked for our list of our what we're going to be leaning in with our
5.
fandom this weekend.
Rank your 5, yep.
I'm sure you're going to be shocked, but number 1's going to be opening day at 4:30 today.
I'll be there.
Number Number 2 is going to be the doubleheader tomorrow, my friend.
Are they playing 2 tomorrow? They're not playing Sunday?
Tony, of course they are. Have you seen the weather forecast for Sunday? It's going to be a doubleheader.
How do you know that?
Tony, when Vitello left, one thing they did upgrade is a staff meteorologist. No game on Sunday, doubleheader tomorrow.
Have they announced it?
No, Tony, not yet, but they're going to.
Beautiful. Breaking news.
There'll be a doubleheader, and then everybody can head over for the blackout at Food City Center, formerly known as Thompson Bowling Arena. It'll be, I don't know how many wives are going to be real happy for Valentine's Day if that happens. Can you imagine a trifecta doubleheader followed by a blackout? I don't know about that, Tony.
Well, that's you just tell your lovely, hey, we're going to go on a date, and we're going to spend the whole day together, and we're going to watch 18 innings of baseball as the Vols trounce a baby seal, and then we're going to go over to the arena and watch another baby seal clubbing.
Yeah, that's. I don't think that may fall flat. I'm going to try to sell that to the missus, Tony, but I'm not so sure she's buying what I'm selling. But I've got a Smoky on my 6, so I know I'm trying to keep it legal. But real quick on the way out, Tony, as I make my way from Hot Atlanta up to K-Town.
Love it.
I do think Aguilar, this is the biggest layup. I mean, even Missouri could make this layup, the Lady Tigers. But, Tony, that local judge is absolutely going to give Aguilar another year. I'm a lot like Bino. It's the best thing that can happen for my Vols. It's absolutely bad for college athletics. Here's the scenario, Tony. What if I send and here's the other thing, Tony. All these freshmen are 20 years old already. Before Christmas, they're turning 20. They're graduating high school at 19. So let's just do the math.
Yep.
They're coming in as 20-year-old true freshmen. They go to JUCO for 3 years. So now they're 23, and now they got 4 years. They're going to graduate at 27, 28.
Yes.
Come on, Tony. Those are grown men competing with kids, or you know what I'm saying? I don't like it. I like it for Aguilar. I like it for next season. I think it's their best chance of the Vols having success and having any chance whatsoever with that brutal schedule, making it to the playoffs. But I think it's horrendously poor for college athletics. With that said, you're the dean. GBO.
Enjoy
God
the
bless
weekend.
Vitello.
Yep. And I will be there, by the way, speaking of Vitello, number 1 Paisan, according to the Italian American Club of Greater mascot, Tony Basilio. Vitello, you are off the list. You don't matter. I am the number 1 Italian. I've taken over. Carmen Degano has slipped to 4th. I'm numero uno. I am numero uno. Once! Doce! 865-200-5402. Get as many people in here as humanly possible. I want you to rank the weekend in terms of importance to you. Joey Agalar is going to reign supreme. By the way, because I will know for sure that Josh Elander has achieved critical mass. Heupel's Razor comes into our YouTube chat and commentates frequently. And then we have, not only do we have Heupel's Razor, I want to see at some point Elander's Razor in there, Bino. Some people can pull it off, Bino. I'm trying to grow like a little thing on the front of my chin. And I got like peach fuzz, kind of, not a peach fuzz, but it's all like gray whiskers. But I'm trying to do that old man thing that people do, you know. Kind of cover up your fat in the front of your face. And Laura says to me, she goes, what are you doing? Married 35 years, man. What are you doing? I said, I don't know. What do you mean? She said, that thing on your chin. What are you going for? Is that her way of telling me she likes it, Bino, in your humble opinion?
I don't think so.
She asked me that in the kitchen.
No, I don't think when they like something, they say, hey, I like that. When they don't, they say, what is that?
Taylor, awesome call by you, by which all others will be judged for the rest of
Tony,
our time.
your chat crew never misses a beat. It didn't take any time for me to get on there and see that there was the Puerto Rican Willie Stargell after your
the Puerto Rican Willie Stargell. Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow. I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care. I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Basilio here with my buddy, Connexio Kristen.
Hey Tony, good to see ya. Conexial builds fleet technology that helps transportation and logistics companies win big. Live GPS, easy ELD and compliance tools, AI dash cameras, and asset tracking, all backed by the .1 U.S. customer support team. Want a better playbook for your operations? Visit Conexial.com/Tony. That's KONEXIAL.com/Tony. Conexial, built for drivers, trusted by fleets, and proud Vol fans.
Tony Basilio here, and I got the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance 2026. Chad, do you believe we've made it?
Boys and girls teams start off the new year at big national event showcases. We got our younger kids training indoors and doing a lot of things to get better. So we're excited about what the future holds.
Chad, I hear the juice behind you. I hear the kids. Your program reaches throughout East Tennessee. If folks want to get involved, what's the advice?
We're easy to get in touch with. We offer players at all ages, all levels, all experience. We have a program for all of our kids that we have, and we're excited for anyone to join us.
And even some Lady Vols as well. Several college players all over the country, yes?
Absolutely. We had a lot of girls that we were able to watch play in the NCAA tournament. A lot of our former players made big runs through the tournament. We're so excited for them.
Growing the beautiful game. In this, the year of the World Cup in North America, celebrate the beautiful game. Get your child involved. FCAllianceKnox.org. That's FCAllianceKnox.org. And Chad, thank you, man. Keep growing the beautiful game.
Absolutely, Tony, and thank you very much.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good.
From the sunrise over the Smokies to the Saturday cheers at Neyland Stadium, Knoxville isn't just where we live, it's home. But let's be honest. Finding your perfect spot in a hot market can feel like a full-time job. Whether you're looking for a Craftsman in 4th and Gill, a family home in Farragut, or a view in South Knox, the market moves fast. You need more than a listing. You need an edge. And that's where I come in, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty. And I specialize in helping Knoxville buyers win. I don't just find houses, I find the right fit for your budget and your lifestyle. Ready to unlock your front door? Visit nextmovesmokymountains.com or call me at 865-694-5904. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com. And as always, go Vols.
Bradley's and your Tony Basilio show are a Knoxville tradition. And these days, just like Tony B's show has taken off like a rocket ship, so have my friends at Bradley's. Sure, they still have all the delicious chocolate you're used to, like the chocolate-covered popcorn in the assortment boxes. They're now called Bradley's Gift and Home, and they have so much more than chocolate. Bradley's Gift and Home has all kinds of amazing curated gifts, jewelry, candles, and other for her gift items that will keep you from having to go anywhere else. Guys, trust me, as Basilio would say, Bradley's Gift and Home have taken it to the next level. And remember, Bradley's will have freshly dipped chocolate-covered strawberries in milk and white chocolate at both of their locations, 141 North Beaters Road and 138 Biddle Farms Boulevard in Farragut next to Tupelo Honey. Strawberries available February 13th and 14th. See you at Bradley's Bradley's Gift and Home. See our website, shopbradleys.com.
Shout out to Bradley's today. Shout out to all my lovers everywhere. In this season of love, I want you to know one thing right now. You're my Valentine, wherever you are. If you're at the game today and you see me, I want to meet you. Come on up, say hi. Love to see you. I'll be out there today with the lovely Red Fox. It'll be unbelievable, Andy. Now, let's see here. 865-200-5402. It's absolutely next level. Bino, who's your favorite player on the baseball team right now? Your favorite player going into the season. This is liable to change. By the way, a brand new, just dropped. You got to go listen to it. The starting rotation featuring Will Heflin. His baseball podcast just dropped. It is a must listen. Will Heflin is a superstar. I call him the superstar in my phone. When my phone rings, it says Superstar Heflin. That is no joke. Bino, you and I met him about a year ago down at Calhoun's on the River. Do you remember that, Bino?
Absolutely remember that, Tony.
And do you remember me turning to you and saying, I'm going to get that kid to do things for me? Do you remember walking out of there and I said that to you?
Yes.
Because I know talent.
Do.
As a friend of mine told me, said, Basilio, you got a feel for that. I said, yeah, I know the talent. I know the talent. And Will Heflin will be back for another edition. First of all, he's doing that podcast, which is great. If you want to sponsor his podcast, reach out to me, commonfan@gmail.com. We're going for ads, as we say in the music business. And so we're pretty pumped. I'm pretty fired up, focused, and prepared right now for what we're about to do for this great sports weekend. I want you to rank them for me in importance to you. Joey Agalar. We'll just take them in the order they're happening. Tennessee's baseball series. Dark Mo. I'm sorry. Lady Vol softball, Joey Agalar's case. Order they're happening. Baseball. Back again. Dark mode. Tomorrow night against LSU. And then two absolutely titanic brands in women's college basketball. Shout out Jody Conrad. Shout out Pat Summit. Shout out everybody that's worn that uniform, including Kelly Jolly Harper, who last night, Bri, the team she has, you got no chance. No chance. No chance. And by the way, Sammy in the Ridge last night sent me a great article on curling and how much science is involved in it. Bino, did you know those stones they throw in curling come in different shapes and sizes and weights? And you get to choose based on the shot? Sammy took me under wings last night. Taught me something. But the great sport of curling.
Tony, the only thing I know about curling is I would have to be stoned in all shapes and sizes to watch it.
I think, Bino, if you came over
I don't think so.
Bino, I think if you watch a little curling with me, or maybe I got you on a three-way with C, and we took you under wing, are you interested in being taken under wings?
No, I'm not.
Then go F yourself. Let's get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on our Friday edition. Hi, you're on the air. Hello? Hello, you're on the air. Welcome in.
Hey guys, it's Dave in Chattanooga. How are y'all?
Hey, welcome in Chattanooga, brother.
The sun is shining. It's a beautiful day.
Hey, God bless America. Feels like baseball season.
Yeah, it does. Speaking of 32 years ago today, something very memorable in the college basketball world happened.
All right.
You want a hint, Tony?
Hit it.
I'll kill you. I'll kick your ass.
Really?
Wow.
John Chaney, John Calipari, 32 years ago today.
What a wonderful, wonderful moment that was in the history of sport. That was back when Temple basketball mattered. Back when John Calipari was cutie pie. Back when these guys used to cheat and crawl all over each other and have really terrible blood with each other. Bino, I didn't know you then. Did you like the John Chaney moment, yes or no?
I did, Tony. I liked that moment.
And now that you went to Philly with me, Bino, and hung out there around those people, can you see how he would come from that earth?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I can see how he came from there, Tony.
Because those people there keep it 100. I'll kill you. When he came running back in there at him, say it to my face. Say it to my face. I'll kill you. At a press conference. Could you imagine that happening today in our antiseptic world we live in? Back then, man, people think about our society now. Back then we had guys, look, if you wanted to beat somebody in the Winter Olympics back then, you just took a baton to their ankles.
That's right.
Right? I mean, seriously.
That's right. That was the same year. I think it was, 94. That's amazing.
Wow, is that right? Is that right?
Yeah, I think it was. Tanya Harding.
And the OJ trial later that year.
What a year. That's peak society there.
The Great Society, yes.
Yeah, those Temple teams were amazing. Eddie Jones, Aaron McKee, Pepe Sanchez. Hell of a run.
And now when I watch them, I literally feel like Iron Eyes Cody when that litter washes up to shore, man. I just cry like that Indian on the shore in the Do Not Litter commercials back in the day.
It's brutal. It's brutal. Yeah, rough watch. I don't even know. I don't catch their games very often.
It's awful.
Yeah, rough
no,
watch.
It's awful. I can't look at it. It's like, what is this now? The guys look like Mississippi State's players the other night. Looks like nobody was in the weight room. Mississippi State the other night, Bino, that center they had, he looked like meat from Porky's. Bino, what kind of team is that Mississippi State's fielding?
I don't know. I haven't seen rim protection like that since those old Georgetown teams.
I mean, speaking of which, how about Georgetown now in the modern era? How they've fallen into disrepair.
Goodness.
Oh, it breaks your heart.
It does. It really does.
I want these old teams to come back again. I think of the old that whole era, man. All the UNLV teams and Fresno State and all the Big East teams that are down now. Syracuse being down is really sad. And go back and watch that 30 for 30, the Requiem for the Big East came out about 10 years ago. I watch that every couple of years, and it still holds up. It's really good.
Well, what's funny is I lived there then. You know, those are my formative years. Yeah. And so going to the Palestra as a kid and then and the streamers and the tradition and then seeing the Big East formed in the late 70s, that early cable package. Bill Raftery back then was doing games back then. Dave Sims was doing games back then. These guys are still broadcasting today. I mean, it's incredible.
We were watching it here in the South on ESPN on Monday nights. The Big Monday.
How great was it, man? How great was it?
No, awesome. Awesome. It goes back to my childhood. I was 7, 8, 9 years old getting into it. I was also a big Detroit Pistons fan, so I'm still a Pistons fan. It's been a great year.
How about the year that Toby's had for you guys, man? Come on now.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I don't know if we have enough shooting to win the whole thing, but that's my big concern is 3-point shooting. We got Duncan Robinson, but need somebody else to kind of help carry that. But they're athletic, man. They're fun to watch. They get after it.
East is wide open. I like what the Sixers did the other night. Hey, get beat by 45 on your home floor right before the All-Star break. That's a nice little memory to hold your fans with.
I took my 13-year-old to watch the Hawks Celtics back in January as a Christmas gift, and the Celtics put it on them. They won by like 40 at Atlanta, and then the Hawks go up there and play them the next week, and they beat them by like 20 points. I'm like, what the hell? It's crazy, man.
Yeah, and you know what? We're starting to see that too. Like Brian was talking about this in the college game. The college game is starting to mirror the pro game where these teams just unplug and they get blown out.
Yeah.
It's like we're done for the night. We're just gonna. I wonder if they start load managing Bino on the college circuit soon. And you only play some of the big games, like with your star players, just get them out of the game. It's really.
I don't rule anything out.
Think about load management for a second, guys, and what you're doing. Basically, you're telling the ticket buyers that night who paid to see whomever, you don't matter.
100%.
That's so unprofessional.
My son's a huge Curry fan, and I'm not willing to spend $2,000 to go watch him play, and we show up and find out, 6 hours before tip he's not playing.
That's exactly right. Why would you do that? You're exactly right. Because he has a hangnail that night,
Yeah. Before I head out, I'm a hoops guy, so obviously that's my priority.
All right.
I know LSU's terrible. Hopefully they win by 20 or 30 points.
Yep.
7 games left. Your really only chance to move the needle with seeding is probably Vanderbilt twice, and then you got Bama in there. Missouri's always a weird game. We got to play at Missouri, but the rest of those are very winnable games. I see 6-1, maybe 5-2.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you're probably finishing in the top 4 of the league, right?
I think that's right, and you're probably going to toggle depending on what happens. Because you're right. How do you help yourself? You're going to toggle between a 4 and a 5 seed if you're the Vols from here. I think if you finish the way you should.
Yeah.
4. If I know Lenardi has them as a 6 or did at one point, I don't see that. I think they're a 4 or a 5. And here's the thing. That's the part of the bracket, if you're a 5 seed, where 12s, if you don't mind your P's and Q's, a 12 can put you out. Or the other thing the Vols could have in the tournament is the front line is so good and they'll be dialed in that they could probably overwhelm that first round opponent just physically,
Agree with you. I would just say years past, I've always kind of gone to the SEC tournament, especially after we won it. I saw us do it. I lived to see it. And so then it's kind of like, all right, we've done that. I've kind of wanted us to have an early exit so we could be well rested for the next week. But this year's team gives me pause there because I still feel like because there were so many new pieces this year and your main player is a true freshman, I kind of feel like they need as much experience as they can get going into that thing. And it wouldn't kill them to play a few games in the SEC tournament just to get that tournament experience under their belts. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
Bino, what do you think?
No, I think that's a really good take. I think that's correct with this team. I think the more this team plays, the better.
Yeah,
I don't see anybody beating Florida in that thing. I think Florida's going to run away with it.
Yes.
But if we could hang around and make it to the championship game, I'd be fine with that, even if we lose to Florida. I think they need to get a few more games under the belt.
Peeping Todd knows what he's doing. He really does.
Yeah.
In this
he
era,
does.
he really, you hate to say it, this guy knows what he's doing.
I'm calling it now. I'm calling Florida, Michigan national championship.
I'll tell you one thing about Michigan, what they remind me of when you look at them. They look like Dolph Lundgren in that Rocky IV movie. They look like they were made in like a factory somewhere, don't they? All their guys.
They do.
Huge human beings, man. Huge.
They do. They're intimidating. I didn't want to see them in that deal in Vegas back at the beginning of the year because I think they would have beaten us by 30 points. But anyway, I just want to see us get to the tournament. Let's make a run. Let's get to the second weekend, and I'll be happy with it after the year it's been,
Call again, my brother. I love hearing from you. Thank you. I love a hoops head guy. That guy loves it, man. Thank you. And beautiful Chattanooga, town that gave me my lovely bride. 865-200-5402. Bino, I love when you hear the passion in somebody's voice about something. Isn't that fun?
It absolutely is, Tony. And he obviously likes basketball at every level.
But what he's right about is in the NBA, you give a ticket, you give a child a ticket for, whatever, for the Christmas holiday, whatever. Birthday, whatever. And then they go to the game and their star player decides he's not going to play that night. Meanwhile, the guy's making like $40 million a year, but he can't play 82 basketball games, Bino.
It's ridiculous, Tony.
It's absolutely, and we put up with it as a society. See, the one thing I love about hockey, let me tell you about hockey. Hockey, I was watching a game the other night, and a guy got 2 teeth knocked out, okay? This is true. Goes in, gets his blood, bleeding, whatever it is, however they sutured it, sewed it up. He comes back out and plays a period later, Bino. He missed like 5 shifts. That's a difference. And in their sport, they frown upon, because there are organizations that have tried to load manage guys. They'll go to the press and complain. Hey, I don't want to sit. I don't want to sit. I don't get it.
You know, as a kid, Tony, I wasn't a Braves fan, but we went to Atlanta a lot to watch the Braves because we wanted to see Major League Baseball, and I always wanted to see Aaron play.
Yep.
And you could count on he was going to be in the lineup.
There you go.
In those days in Major League Baseball, played 162 games, just like they do now. But I knew from the time I left the house until the time I got back home, I was going to get to see him play because he was going to be in the lineup. Now, I know that's an old man rant kind of thing. These guys are all, they're all huge investments now, and they have to protect their investment and yada, 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 yada. But I much preferred the games when I was a kid as the games when I'm an adult.
Totally unprofessional in my mind. Totally unprofessional. You are paid to play a sport. You have a schedule. If you're healthy, you walk out there and play that night. If you don't, what's as a fan, if I paid for that, why can't I go to the box office and get my money back? Star's not playing. I'm paying to see Hank Aaron tonight. I want my money back. And they get away with it. 865-200-5402. I want to talk about the Agalar case. A couple people have asked in our chat here over on YouTube, where you can follow the show, Tony Basilio. I mean, here we are, kind of a lazy Friday in the middle of February, middle of February. And we have 172 people, which is a huge number live on YouTube, a huge number. And like 1,500 people will go view a long-form 3-hour thing. That just doesn't happen on YouTube. That's a great number. So thank you for the support. If you hit the like button, we'd appreciate it. But when we continue, I want to tell you how I think this thing, what my sense is, how this thing's going to play out as we continue with more on your other side right after this.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio Show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama Zizi approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and Zizi.
One more thing, Tony. Go Vols!
Newsflash, Basilio listeners, the spring real estate market just moved up. Yes, it's chilly outside and you're still in your puffy coat, but if you need to sell your East Tennessee property, you could be the hottest house on the block. Hi there. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. February is the sweetheart month of real estate, and savvy sellers know exactly what that means. Get ahead of the game and give me a call at 865-694-5904 or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols!
Yee-haw! I've been hooting and hollering ever since I started betting with the VIP Play app. VIP Play has more than 200 leagues, every bet type you can imagine, live betting and live hosts, all with 24/7 support from real live people when you need them. Start betting better with the VIP Play app today. Don't be a better, be a better with VIP Play today.
VIP Play coming soon. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Must be 21 plus and located in Tennessee to bet.
Basilio here, and you know my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes Light. Carnes Motor Company.
TB back with you, 865-200-5402. The Lady Vols are down early. I hope this doesn't portend of things to come this weekend. I hope we're not in trouble today against Morgan State. You know, Bino, I've had people tell me that Morgan Wallen's called this show before, but he doesn't identify himself. Do you believe that, Bino, or is that just a joke? People are playing on me. You think Morgan Wallen has called this show before? Because he's a big Vol fan.
I would say he has, Tony. It's a show of record.
And they tell me that I shouldn't crack on him because he listens. But, Morgan, you wouldn't take that personally. I mean, if I say I'm not a bro country fan, I'm just not. You're a great entertainer, I'm sure. And kudos to you for getting to the top of your deal. Heidi Christine says, we're traveling from Knoxville to Kentucky for Valentine's Day. Oh, Heidi, thank you. That's awesome. Starting at the baseball game, ending at the basketball game, perfect Valentine's Day. Got to hit up Alumni Hall for something black. Right on, Heidi Christine. So excited that you're coming down. Now, will you be here for today's game? Because if you are, I'd like to give you a big hug at the game today. Hugs, not drugs. 1980s. All right, here's how this thing's going to... By the way, 865-200-5402. Our lines are wide open. So today, the NCAA's got work to do in a Knox County court, okay? People are asking, are we going to hear something this afternoon as this commences? Will we hear something right away? Maybe. But what we really want to happen, what could happen is the judge could look at the NCAA and say, I mean, look, I granted a TRO. You haven't shown me anything. Joey Agalar is free to move about the cabin as far as I'm concerned and pursue his final year here, and you're out. What we want to happen, okay? And this is Marcos Garza's appearance on here, Garza Law Firm, online, garzalaw.com. What we want to happen, let us help. What we want to happen is for this judge, Judge Haggerty, to take his good old sweet time. His good old sweet time. And decide in about 5 weeks. Joey Agalar's got a TRO. He's free to work out with the team. 6 weeks, 7 weeks. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait, just wait, just wait. And then issue your ruling and decide in his favor. Because one of the things that Marcos talked about was you want the wheels of justice here to spin slowly if you're Joey Ag's team. First of all, you know you're going to win. Secondly, the other thing you know is the further and the longer it gets kicked down the road, the better your chances of avoiding an appeal. Because the NCAA is more than likely going to appeal these things. They can't just sit idly by, can they? And let the Ole Misses, the Tennessees, and then the schools next year that are going to all do this with all kinds of players. Look, millions and millions and millions of dollars are at stake for these teams, and they're all going to do it. The precedent's been set. Tennessee saw what Alabama did with Betty Croco, and they said, you know what? If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked the cake, baked the cake, baked the cake. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked the cake. And Bino, that's the truth. So we want this thing to go several weeks. You don't want a ruling today. In our microwave society, Bino, that's a hard thing to say, isn't it? But I want this thing to drag out, man.
It is a hard thing to say, Tony. And in a lot of the articles that I read leading up to it, one of Tennessee's arguments was that they needed a quick resolution so that Joey would know what to do. So, but I guess that was just to get it on the docket or what?
Sure, because he has a TRO now.
Okay.
He knows he's not a professional football player. Okay. He knows he's not an NFL player. His side is arguing, look, they're giving us $2 million, but when they say they need a quick resolution, that was for the TRO.
Okay.
On this side here, take your time. We got our TRO. I'm free to play football now. Does that make sense? That would be my understanding.
Yes, makes sense.
I mean, because at the end of it, they're going to rule in your favor. Now, it's not 100% certainty. Maybe the NCAA shows up today with something that's, totally out of sight. But based on the way these things have gone so far in these home games that these teams are playing in their courts, they're getting like lectured and whatnot. Because truly, what's your leg to stand on? You're going to keep a guy from making a living. And again, I'm back to this. This is where we started today's show. And we'll get some calls in here. Just hang with me. But you're dealing with, in this Knoxville courtroom, this guy deals in matters of life and death every day. This guy deals in sentences for hardened criminals. And people have had their life savings stolen from them by this or that. Or deciding a judgment on somebody that's been severely injured in a case, or malpractice, or whatever it is. What is the harm in granting Joey Agalar another year to play football in my spot where, by the way, these are appointed positions, and I'm not saying you do it for this reason, but what's the harm in granting somebody and doing something in my community that's going to make everybody cheer? I mean, who's harmed by that? Who's harmed by Joey Agalar? You tell me. I guess you could argue George McIntyre's harmed by him. Or maybe Rusty Staub is harmed. Here's the thing. Those guys might one day be in the same spot Joey Agalar is in right now. And then what will be the harm? If we kick this thing, like Bino's saying, if we kick this thing down the road to the point where we have 6 or 7 year players, the 6 or 7 year players, everybody will get a chance at their 6th or 7th year. If that's where we're heading, right? I'm gaming it out here. But I don't know. It's an extremely interesting thing to watch. My sense of it is that it's not going to hurt Tennessee if this thing, in fact, it's going to help Tennessee. Like Marco said, it's going to help if it drags on. And on and on. Brian, do I get a Lady Vol score right now? I want a Lady Vol score right now.
It's 1-1 in the bottom of the fourth.
That's what I thought.
They've tied the game.
That's what I thought. Now, this Nebraska club can play, right? Nebraska starting.
They are ranked 11th. And they are the team that the Lady Vols beat last year in the Super Regional at home. After dropping the first game, they came back and won the second and third.
Gave them what we call Nebraska kicking.
That's a double dipping, Tony.
A double dipping.
I've got a point to make about Aguilar on the other side.
I'm holding my breath. By the way, the playbook with William Patterson's on the way next. He fired me up, folks, and prepared me today with a tweet for the ages about this weekend that we're about to be blessed with. Appreciate you. Peace.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
It's pretty unbelievable, Andy, as it's hour number 3 on the radio. Go ahead, Brian. Make your point, and then we'll go to the phones.
Well, I see some of these comments from real snarky people about these quarterbacks that are trying to get another year of eligibility, and they've had, I guess, 4 to 6, whatever.
Yep.
And they say stuff like, well, why don't you go on Indeed, or why don't you get a real job? I got news for those folks. Joey Agalar is going to make more money playing one more year of college football than he would in 10 years on one of their real jobs that they find and drum up on Indeed or whatever, LinkedIn. So stop hating.
Word to my dearly departed mother right there, Brian. When Joey Agalar's counsel walks into a courtroom and says, hey, this guy can make $2 million playing football.
He's set for life.
Thank you.
He doesn't have to work again.
Thank you.
Take your real job and shove it. Take your LinkedIn and shove it.
Does he have a good point? Does Brian have a good point, Bino? Yes or no?
Yes, Tony. And I know he's not talking to me. I would never tell anybody to go get a real job because I didn't want the ones I had.
That's exactly right, Bino. My thing with these young kids is I just hope against hope that we're not watching a 30 for 30 one day about how these kids at this age live like drunken sailors and burn through their money and were used by the system. Because at one time they had an argument they were getting used by the system when they were just getting scholarships and majoring in eligibility. Because that is what was going on at a lot of places. And that's called being used by the system. In this particular case, they're using the system back now. But only to a certain extent, because what they're sacrificing in the process is, I don't have a true alma mater to call home. I don't really make relationships that are going to last throughout my lifetime. But I'm going to make a piss pot full of money. And in Joey Agalar's case, a guy that started out City College of San Francisco and then Diablo in the Diablo Junior College. And then he goes over to App State as a backup quarterback. And then he gets a chance to play and he plays well. Going to go to UCLA for about $900,000 last year. Tennessee pays him a little more, right? Tennessee pays him, you know. Hey, God bless America, man. Supply and demand. There are very few kids out there that can do what this guy can do. He's going to get paid for it. In a court of law, how am I going to stop you from making a living in America? Because this governing body says only so many years you're able to. Who bargained that? Who collected bargain? Did players agree with that? See, Bino asked Mike Hugan a really great question, which is, what happens if a guy says, I want an 8th year or a 9th year? You know? That's the thing we've done here. And this ruling is probably going to give for us this year and give look, you know where I stand on this thing. But I'm not going to beat it into the ground. And I told you, when the time comes, I practice party discipline. The way I looked at what I was saying on here the last couple weeks is, well, he's changed. No, I haven't. But it's like a political campaign, you know? Like, if you're a part of a party, which is older, and the older I get, the more fiercely independent I get in my thought politically. But that's another story for another day. Because I don't play for a team, I don't play for a tribe. Sorry. I'm not tribal. There's good things here, there's good things there, there's good things here, there's good things there. That's me. You do you, I'll do me. But I'll tell you this. This is going to be something in time that's going to give and it's going to take away. In other words, this year it's going to give for us. But we're going to have teams on future schedules that are going to get to keep a superstar quarterback or a player, and we're going to have to deal with it until they figure out what they're doing here. Because the courts are going to continue to decide who plays and who doesn't. Bino, do you feel that?
Yes, absolutely, Tony. And that's another ugly portion of the game to me.
Yep. B. Bluntly's asked, Tony, are you ever getting an interview again with Vitello? Sure. I text with Tony to this day. I haven't invited Tony on the show. Why would I get him on right now? What am I going to talk to him about? Think about it. If he comes on here and I ask him real questions, which I will ask him real questions when I talk to him. I want to see Josh Elander do his thing. So, and just create some space for that. So, I'm fine. I wish Tony well. We'll talk to him at some point. Probably when the season gets started and we got a season of his that we can talk about, and just do a check-in with him. We'll do something like that. But getting him on right now, or getting him on between the time he left and now, to me felt like, I don't know. It felt like it was going to be disrespectful to what's getting ready to happen with Josh Elander and this group. Bino, does that make any sense? I'm kind of like a time and a place person with things like that.
No, it makes perfect sense, Tony. Makes perfect sense. I think out of respect for Elander, that's exactly what you should have done.
Yeah, they see him appearing in other places, and they're like, how come you're not? Because here's the thing. If I get him on, I'm like truth serum with that guy. It's all gone. It's, and I'm just not going to do that. I don't know. My instinct is time and a place. This isn't the time, this isn't the place. But one day there will be. People are talking about the age limit ought to be 25. I agree with you. I agree with having an age limit. Here's the problem. I don't have a union. I haven't collectively bargained. Any limit you put on these kids, they're going to go to court. They're going to lawyer up. Schools are going to pay for the attorney, and they're going to be made eligible in their local courts. Does the NCAA have the stomach to challenge Joey Agalar or Chambliss in an appellate court? Can they get the case heard between now and the end of next season? Or will Agalar and Chambliss get out of Dodge with the full bag o' cash? Marcos was on here last week. It's not something I'm qualified to answer. He said it's not something he's qualified to answer. Because truly, the wheels of justice, like he said, can move at a rapid pace, or they can move at an extremely slow pace, but they're not going to move at our pace. Anybody that's an attorney will tell you that. In a perfect world, again, this thing goes of 5 or 6 weeks for the Vols. 5 or 6 weeks, kick it down the line. You get into mid-March, early April, whatever it is. You have your ruling. They try to go to a federal court, and it takes them several months to get on a docket. You can delay on your end till you have that date in court, hopefully to like the middle of the end of November. That's if they try and fight it. But, you don't try to fight it. There ain't nothing you can do. Rock with you, Bino. Good Jam or No, written by Rod Temperton.
Yes.
Of Heatwave.
I like it.
Rod Temperton also wrote Always and Forever. Good song, Bino?
Yes, like it.
Lady of My Life by Michael Jackson. Any good, Bino?
It's a good tune, yeah.
Not a big Temperton guy? One of my favorite songwriters of all time. Incredible. Chord structure, lyrics, just everything. Just Rod Temperton, one of my musical heroes in life. Just awesome. May he R.I.P. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, it's Zach in E-Town. What's up, my man?
Zach in E-Town, are you a Rod Temperton guy?
Is Thriller the greatest selling album of all time? Yes. So yeah, I love Rod Temperton. I don't know if he did Off the Wall. You said Rock With Me?
Yeah, he did Rock. I'm gonna rock with you. Yeah.
All night. Oh,
na 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 na
Sunlight.
He's an English
Oh,
chap too. He's an English chap, and he wrote Boogie Nights, which is a great jam. Back in the day, he wrote Always and Forever. He wrote So Grab Your Friends, da 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 na na na. Leave your worries behind. Bino, were you a Groove Line fan?
Oh,
it was okay, Tone. It was okay.
He wrote Off the Wall. He wrote Rock With You. He wrote Light Up the Night for the Brothers Johnson. He wrote Give Me the Night for George Benson. He wrote Off Broadway for George Benson. He wrote Razzmatazz for Quincy Jones. He wrote Hypnotized for Bob James, which is a great jam. He wrote Baby Come to Me for James Ingram and Patty Austin. You don't think this cat could write, do you? He wrote Thriller. He wrote Baby Be Mine. He wrote Lady in My Life. He wrote Yamo Be There. He wrote Sweet Freedom. Bino,
he wrote Yamo Be There?
Yeah, you don't think this guy can write some songs, do you?
Oh, it's wild because I'm assuming he was a white dude too, writing all that great R&B and soul.
White dude.
Well, yeah, I mean it's like the blue. What do they call it? Blue-eyed soul, like Michael McDonald.
That's right.
Yeah, that's some of the best. Like some of that disco music. I know people crapped on it at the time.
Incredible.
Yeah.
To people that play music, we know the chord choices and that stuff. And the jazz influence and some of that music is real. Like that Bee Gees stuff, like that song, Too Much Heaven.
Broadway, Nights on Broadway.
Nights on Broadway is a damn great. Dude, this guitar lick and Nights on Broadway, let's see. Do I have a pick somewhere? It's on D minor. Let's see. I don't have my pick with me. But yeah, that is a great song. Right off that 10th fret, that little lick right there, that is a great jam. A great Nights on Broadway, Bino. You like it or no?
I do.
Well, he's not a...
The Brothers Gibb, Rod Temperton.
Oh, my God, dude.
Yeah, man. That's where it's at. I was born in 78, and so I grew up listening. My mom had that stuff on, and so that's embedded in my DNA. I didn't know that about Rod Temperton, and that basically, I think Michael might have written one or two songs off of Thriller.
He did.
And then the guys from Toto basically did, or one of the guys from Toto wrote Human Nature, which is another great song you can play acoustically.
Yep.
If you're so inclined with the Ramblers. But Rod Temperton aside, Tony, with cases like Aguilar or Bediako, what is like because I'm actually very interested in this. What is the theory? I mean, what's the limiting theory? That there's an age limit, or people cannot be prohibited from engaging in enterprise? Because we used to have a thing called amateurism, which is kind of what the Olympics are based off of, which to bring it to even more current events. And those Olympics people can't supposedly take money, but can they now? It is a very.
They've been professional forever. That's well over 35 years. Do you remember when they had the Dream Team?
Yeah.
And they let the professional athletes in? Because what the other countries were doing, the Eastern Bloc countries for a long, long time had professional athletes, and they would go against the amateurs and smoke the amateurs. And we said that's enough. And you know what led to that was when John Thompson in '88 in Seoul, South Korea, put a team together full of some cronies and flunkies, including Charles Smith IV, who belonged on that team as much as I did. and they went out there and lost, and we said, screw you. And the U.S. said, we're going to show you guys what American basketball is. And we put that dream team out there. What year was that, Bri? Was that 92 or 96? 92.
92.
And they went out there and beat the absolute hell out of the world. And Charles Barkley dumped on some Angolan guy and then got in his face afterwards.
Actually, that year, the Grateful Dead sponsored the Lithuanian men's national team.
I'm so for that.
So I guess what I'm saying is if a player like Aguilar, I mean, is there a limit? Like can a person just petition to play and play and play? That's kind of what we're looking at.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out, aren't we? Aren't we going to find out?
I don't know. It seems like it's such a case-by-case basis. Like with Bediako. So he comes in, they bring him in basically to play against us. Let's be honest, they brought him in to play against us.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's ruled ineligible and can't play. Well, what's the difference between him and Aguilar? Making money? Signing a contract with some group?
One of them left to become a pro. That's the difference.
That's the difference. Yep.
One of them left for professional sports and came. At least there's enough sanity where that didn't.
And that's the line of demarcation they're trying to protect, because I said that, the bounce back player, that was my prediction that was going to happen, but the court said no to that. So now you have a precedent. The thing that Marco said that's really interesting is that the NCAA will start winning cases when they get to the federal level because there's more case law there. But in these states, what these states have done is they've written these fresh laws. And it's really important to understand this, and these fresh laws allow these kids to move about the cabin. So it's not till they get to the federal courts where it's going to be more difficult to win these cases.
So this one's going to be done at the courthouse there in Knoxville, right there at
Judge
Baker.
Judge Haggerty, yep.
Well, maybe after that case, or after that's off of the docket, maybe we can set up a trial for Negative and argue whether he should be allowed, or are we going to have, have his TRO?
What do you make of Negative? What do you make of the whole Negative fiasco that's occurred here in the last 36 hours? Unfortunately.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
We kind of need Negative.
You like Negative?
Sometimes.
Do you like him?
I like him in the fact that he basically is the 13-year-old kid in all of us that throws the controller at the video game.
Yeah.
After as he's playing and gets all emotional, and that keeps me from having to come on here and scream and yell. So,
Bino, in your humble opinion, and thank you, Zachy. Bino, in your humble opinion, I want you to tell the living listener how crazy Dave was at those softball tournaments, because they hear him and they hear this cockamamie bull that he obviously doesn't mean about. He's just frustrated about the play of our point guard, who the other night we have an 18-point run that he's out there for the entire time, and never once does he take the ball to the basket, which is, I mean, no offense to that kid, but when you're instinctive on a basketball floor, it's the first thing you do as a point guard. You stop a run, and you're a scoring point guard at that. But I want you to share with the living listener how nutty this dude is. Because he admitted to us. He said, because you looked right at him, Bino, at his dad's receiving of friends, and you guys were telling stories, as we often do when you're at an event like that, make everybody smile. But you're like, I haven't seen you in years, and you look great. And boy, you were a real maniac on the floor, on the field.
I didn't actually say that, Tony. That's what Dave said. Listen, I'm
did
not
say
going
that.
to
Somebody
any
said
details.
That. Yeah, somebody said that.
I'm not going to any details, but I'll tell the listeners this. Dave doesn't hate to lose any worse today than he did then. And he's no harder on these guys than he was on himself. I can tell you that with 100% confidence.
I mean,
so
Dave's a kook. He's a kook.
He's a grinder. He's a grinder, and he doesn't like it when things go wrong. I got a quick comment on that, Tony, on the point shaving thing. When you got kooks out there that are losing their paycheck on a college basketball game, and they're immediately looking for someone to blame for that other than themselves, no one should ever imply that someone may be shaving points. And that includes the head basketball coach. I don't care if he said it in jest or he had no business saying that. These kids, you have to protect these kids from the kooks that are out there betting.
That should never come out of the mouth of a head basketball coach. I mean,
never, ever.
I know Barnes likes to think he's a comedy act. That's not funny. Okay?
No, that was a misstep on
Yeah,
his
you
part.
can't do that. That's a really good catch by you. I was so amused by it, but one thing that I do know, because I've had guys in the game tell me this, is that the reason we don't see the quote-unquote scrubs play anymore, which I don't call them that, I call them enhancement talent. But the reason we don't see the enhancement talent, that's what they call them in wrestling. Instead of jobbers, they call them enhancement talent now. But the reason we don't see the enhancement talent anymore, like we used to, is that those kids go like this. Go in the game, they're like, because they go in the game when the game's really on the line for the bettors. That's a lot of things. One thing that people that don't gamble don't realize is that a lot of people, man, they sit there and they're like, kind of is what it is, right?
Yeah, I would love to see. I never thought of it in those terms, but I'm sure you're exactly right.
Those kids
I would
don't
love
want
to see Grant Hurst play. Saw his dad play here at Lenoir City.
They don't want in. They don't want in, Bino. They don't want any part of that. Because they get stuff. I was told, Bino, that they get blasted in their inboxes on social media. You MFer. You cost me $10,000. You cost me whatever you cost me. Now, Bino, do you believe that goes on today?
100%.
Yeah. And the kids used to be so fun. It was a fun thing. You know, there's Shoes Hoffman over there. They're the Slappy Twins. Or who was the kid we had, Bri, that was a walk-on that got caught trucking 400 pounds of marijuana over there in North Carolina? P something.
Pee-wee.
Pee-wee something. I might be
Pee-wee Gash?
Pee-wee Gash. Look and see if he got caught for something. I don't want to say that. Vols Deep has said, the poor kids. See, that's a mentality people have, Bino. These are walk-ons sitting on the bench, Bino, getting all that shit from people. And this idiot said, poor kids. You wouldn't like it if it was you, and you wouldn't like it if it was your kids. Tough guy. Everybody's a tough guy behind their keyboards. You could see my face. Unfortunately. Muppet Gino. Hello, welcome in. You're on the air.
Tony, Bino, how are y'all? It's Ben from King Sport.
Hey, Ben. Good to talk to you, my friend.
Good to talk to you, sir. So I don't get to call in very often. I usually listen later on in the day because I'm working. But since the possibility of the Aguilar situation coming back, and the debate was, do we want Aguilar or do we want one of the, whether it's G-Mac or Brandon to play? And, you know, I'm kind of in the camp of I'd like to see G-Mac or Brandon go at it for 2026 and build for 27, kind of like you are. But I will say this about Aguilar is that we haven't had a 2-year starter under center since Hendon Hooker. And if an Aguilar doesn't have to be a great runner, I think he just has to be a willing one to get that 4 yards on 3rd and 4th, or if it's 1st and 10 and the play collapses and you get that positive yardage, or even if it's just 2 yards, because we know under Heupel's offense, if it's 2nd and 12, you're doomed, but if it's 1st and 8, you're okay. And so if you tell me that Aguilar is going to be a willing runner versus, it doesn't have to be Michael Vick, but a willing runner, which hopefully with his surgery and the removal of the tumor, he will be, and he's a second-year starter, I really don't care what's best for college football. I care what's best for Tennessee, because you're exactly right. We're going to face a guy that's been at some university or in college football for 8 years, and if we take the high road here, and he's going to beat the brakes off of us.
He's right, Bino. That's a conclusion I've come to in the last week and a half. It's going to give and it's going to take. And you got this really hard schedule, so why not take? Although, part of me still does think, and I'm not trying to have it both ways, but Ben, I'm the guy that just has to give my opinion, and that's not for everybody, but I still kind of think it kind of hurts your growth in 2027, but it definitely gives you the best chance in 2026. There's no doubt about that. The thing we don't know about Joey, and we won't know about Joey, is how recovered will he be from this surgery? What will the impact be on his throwing arm, on his deep ball ability, having that tumor removed? Does it do muscle damage to him once he rehabs? I mean, we won't know that till we get there. That's a fair thing to say, right?
No, I completely agree. And my hope and prayer is that Josh Heupel has a legitimate quarterback competition. We need G-Mac to put on 10 or 20 pounds over the off season. Hopefully this strength and conditioning coach from Indiana can do the same for him that he did for Mendoza. And I don't care if Joey Aguilar was the quarterback last year.
Yep.
The best kid plays. The best kid plays. You pay Joey Aguilar $2 million and you say, hey, buddy, you're going to be the backup. But you know what? We're paying you $2 million. Joey should be fine with that. Because I think this kid understands, even though he's a competitor, the NFL is not his future, which is why he's wanting to come back.
Sure he knows
and
that.
What I would absolutely hate to see is for a guy like G-Mac or Brandon hit the transfer portal, go to LSU, Ole Miss, Texas Tech, whatever, and just ball out. Because, I do think between the two of them, they've got a quarterback. This idea that, I think we're sometimes a little harsh, and I don't completely disagree with the statement that Heupel has a hard time with picking quarterbacks. He hasn't had a 2-year guy since Hendon Hooker. And the difference between Hendon Hooker and 22 and the difference between Hendon Hooker and 21 is the difference between me and you behind a radio. I think Hendon Hooker was tremendous in 22, and I think that second year in that offense is great. But I don't want to lose G-Mac. I don't want to lose Brandon because from my recollection and the fall practice last year when they were all going at it, the understanding of G-Mac wasn't his skill set. His skill set's tremendous. It's just his size.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Yes. You're exactly right. No, you're preaching to the choir. But here's the thing, Ben. We ought to be worthy to say it, or ready to say, "I appreciate you," because a family can say whatever they want to say right now. But if a kid leaves, you have to be willing to take this guy back, regardless of what's going to happen. If you're going to take him back, you got to take him back. And by the way, people say, "Well, there's no transfer portal." Actually, he can transfer. Maury Hanks took me under wing on this today. There was a kid last year at Wisconsin that played at Miami. He transferred after the portal window closed. What he did is he enrolled at Miami, but they had to pay his own scholarship. So Miami, the family did. So Miami paid the kid a bunch of money in NIL, and it covered a scholarship. So you can still leave, believe it or not. At least that's what I read in that article today. It's like and he got like he said I wanted to move closer to home, yada yada yada, and he transferred down there. So Bino, if you're Josh Heupel and you're going to do this, you have to be willing to lose one or both of those guys if you're going to do it, right?
Yes, you have to be willing. If that's the stance you take the risk of losing one of your younger guys. Absolutely. And that's something that Josh hasn't basically. I mean, he's built his program around high school signees. So this is kind of out of the norm for him.
Dr. ZDDS says, I love how we pretend Hooker sucked his first year. Yeah, Hooker was pretty good when they stuck him in there right away. And no offense, I like Joey a lot. He ain't Hendon Hooker on the collegiate level. Bino, are we going to agree on that?
No, I agree.
It's a little position
completely.
Statement here. People trying to annex, and I love you, Ben. I love your show. But people trying to annex Hooker's success for this guy, those are two different football players right there.
Hey, Tony, something that was said in the last phone call, and I think you were asking me about it, was yes, I don't want to see the game get as old as it appears that it's going to get. Mm-hmm. But there's an old saying in softball, don't get beat by equipment. Have as good equipment as the other team has. You have to do that. And I mean, as long as I'm a Tennessee fan, I don't want them to be a martyr. If the rules of the game say you can have all these old guys out there playing, then we need to take advantage of it.
Just like if the rules of the game say you can tamper with somebody's roster, you better get to tampering or you're going to get your ass fired. Right?
I don't know the rules say that you can do that, but it's obviously going on.
Well, it's kind of like this. One time I interviewed Jeremy Foley in his office at Florida. And he had just made Steve Spurrier the first coach, I want to say, making $2 million in college football at the time. And I said to him, Jeremy, aren't you worried that you're escalating these salaries? Aren't you worried this is the old days, okay? It seems very quaint now to ask this, but this is 30 years ago. Aren't you worried about what you're doing to the rest of the sport? And I'm a tape recorder at the time rolling, and Jeremy Foley looked at me, and he said, well, it's a good question. He said, I'm concerned about the University of Florida. I'm not concerned about our sport. I'm the athletic director at the University of Florida. Which, Bino, is kind of what you're saying. It's what he said to me as a young kid, which I didn't understand, because me in my naive young mind was thinking, you know, these guys really care globally about the sport of college football. What these guys really care about is beating that guy across from them. Now, they'll bitch and moan the whole time that they're partaking in what they're partaking in. Kind of reminds me of like, and I love Tony Vitello, don't get me wrong, okay? But it's baseball, so I can tell you this story. He calls me up, and he's really going off about Jay Johnson down at LSU stealing players. Just going off. I said, Tony, what's the difference between that and what you do? Well, yeah. Isn't it funny, Bino, how those guys can engage in it, but the minute somebody does it to them, all hell's breaking loose? All those years, yes. Dabo Swinney cheated. All those players Clemson bought. All those players. And he has the balls The balls to get up there and start talking about Ole Miss buying a player out from, but he was on our campus. That's what Dabo said. Dabo's like, look, tamper with somebody's team during the season, fine. He said that. Go back and watch that press conference. I didn't say it. He said it. He said, so we have the tampering, and then we have the tampering after the season. But what these guys did is they took a guy off my campus. So when a guy's in high school and you pay him like a couple $100,000 and buy his family a house, I mean, that was cool back then, though, right, Dabo? I'm just want to make sure we're on the same page here.
Tony, I mean, we're all human, right? We all got a plank in our own eye, and we can see the splinter in someone else.
That's right. Tony was really pissed. I can't believe it. This guy's trying to take my best players up. I'm going. Now, I didn't have the balls to say this to him, but wait a second. You took Ole Miss's 2 best players last year off their team. I'm going to miss that psycho pitcher, Bino. That kid was a psycho.
Yes, he was.
I see where UT uses him in their hype video that they air on the SEC network that Mike Keith voices. They've got that guy front and center in that game last year, which is a great moment. That tells you everything you know about Tennessee baseball in the last era. They're using Tennessee baseball front and center, Brian, their hype videos. Right out there, really prominently, Bri, that moment.
It's still an IT program.
Hype! I said hype! All right, we'll go back to the phones. It's been a great day. I got to get out of here, though. Where is Dave? Okay, here's the thing on Dave. Dave is still free to call and participate, but a ticket has been created and kicked upstairs. Now, the commish says he's got a lot on his plate, and he may get to it quickly and issue something, or he may not. But there's also an appeals process, so I don't know what's going to happen with Dave. I do know this: it's a great sports weekend.
I know this. The best thing for Dave would be for that to be kicked on down the street.
Kicked on down what?
Just kick it on down for several months. You know, that's the best thing happened to Dave.
I've seen several people on Twitter insinuate the same thing. Not saying it's right or wrong, but that thought's out there. It's not just in Dave's mind.
Well, Bino's got a really good point. Bino says the head coach really should never even joke about something like that in the era we're in. Brian, what's the score in a softball game?
The ladies lead 4-1. Lady Vols take the lead, and now they bring Pickens in for relief.
My Lady Vols.
Top of the 6th.
With the beautiful Carlin Pickens. Lieutenant Mark from Colombo, I think, speaks for all of us when he says we're going to end up seeing the NCAA versus Dave at the end of this. Dr. ZDDS said the thing that needs to happen here is Dave needs to become a co-host. That one day we let Dave, it's a shame that Dave can't behave himself, Bino, because that day we let him sit in here on a segment, he did a really nice job with it.
Hey, you're always going to be safe from Dave as long as you're several hours removed from the event.
I mean, Dave, if you're listening, no offense to you, but you're a straight up moron to say something like that on a post-game show. And I love you, and I love you. I think you got a great spirit about you, but you are a straight up clown. No offense. That's the thing about Dave being, you got some people that want him to co-host. You got some people that want him to do whatever he's doing. You got some people that want him banished to the back of the cab, and he's a very polarizing guy.
Yes, he is. He is. Polarizing works in this industry, Tony.
But Dave, my memo to you, and I like you, Dave, but grow the hell up, man. You can't say things like that on a post-game show. Then you put me in this position. People say, well, if Dave gets banned, I'm never listening. Promises. Do you know how many times I've had the same exact person in 30 years of doing this tell me, I'm 32 years, I'm never listening again? It's in the hundreds. I'm never listening again. Really? You're never listening again? What the hell are you going to do that you're never listening again? Laura just put the court cam on for me here. You can watch the court. You can watch the court case.
All right.
What is it?
Hey, Tony, I think something was lost in the basketball game the other night.
All right.
Because we, once again, went into one of our swoons. This team, not only do they have an off button, they've got like a blackout button that they hit, and they don't have a clue they don't do anything right for 5 minutes. Nothing. Don't do anything right for 5 minutes. But what was, and I know Mississippi State's not any good. What was different about the game the other night was how well Tennessee executed for the last 5 minutes. Once they let Mississippi State, and it actually became basketball, that's what's different than what we had been seeing. They didn't stay in that. That execution in the last 5 minutes was as good as we've come down the stretch and finished the game in I don't know how long.
Do you think we were losing, Bino? Bino, when that 18-0 run happened, do you think we were losing?
Tony, I didn't think we were losing to Mississippi State.
It never crossed my mind. It never crossed my mind.
I didn't think we were losing to Mississippi State, but we had a couple of great hustle defensive plays.
Yep.
That block and recovery that Akpar made, and then the play that Bishop made on the sidelines. It may have been more Mississippi State than us, but we weren't doing that in the other games where we just felt we stayed asleep. The other games where we felt.
Shout out to Knox News. They got a court cam. Adam Sparks is really hustling. He's in there. They got the thing on the court cam. You can watch a court cam today. You watch the NCAA get fricasseed, screwed, tattooed, and barbecued. So we go back to our phones. I want to remind you, it's a great sports weekend. Bri, have you seen any of the World Hockey Tournament that got underway yesterday? Because that is incredible hockey. That Canadian team.
About 10 minutes of it.
That Canadian team and the way they move that puck around, I just wish the Russians were playing so badly. And I realize that the Russians are insane geopolitically. I get it all. But, man, I wish they could play in this thing. Because that Canada versus Russia stuff, when those Russians get out there and move that damn puck around, yeah! And my boy Freddie Shero in the 70s, he was an adherent of that Russian system. If you look at the genesis of Russian hockey going back to the 1950s, and how they took Canada's game and just took it to the next level, it's unbelievable, Andy. But the 18-0 run team to Mississippi State, Dave's right, it is concerning. It's true. And Bino, you're right. Bino, because they could do that in the tournament and you're gone. You do that in the NCAA tournament.
No question.
Yeah, and because
it's maddening and it's repetitive, and that's a big problem. It's probably not going away.
No, this team's idiotic, but they do have a real high side. Matt took your baseball analogy the other night and said that was a 12-3 game, and the tying run, Bino, was in the on-deck circle at one point with the bases loaded, and we wiggled out of it and tacked on a few more runs at the end and won a comfortable game. But we made 3 errors along the way. We hit a couple batters. A guy in left field dropped the ball. Maybe right field. Maybe it was Castellano who got cut yesterday. Hey, Bino, Castellano wrote a handwritten thing he put up on social media where he was justifying that he drank a beer in the clubhouse while a game was going on, Bino. He drank a beer on the bench. Do you have a thought on that?
Yes, he should have played in the 60s, 70s.
Len Dawson, who I interviewed one time on the air many years ago when he came to town for something. There's a great shot of him smoking a cigarette and drinking a beer at halftime. You imagine if a guy today in the modern era, Bino, lit up a smoke and then opened a cold one at halftime while the coach is over there talking. He's over there, got a heater in his mouth like he's a Kentucky fan. Go!
Forget IVs and protein shakes and stuff like that. I'm going to drink a cold one and suck down a lung dart here. Get away from me. I got this done.
We're standing for freedom over here today. My friends at VIP play in that vein. Bet $20, get $100 in bonus bets instantly. Got the Olympics going on. Got all kinds of stuff. Got all kinds of college basketball. Got the Lady Vols in Texas on Sunday. It's all for grabs. You can get action on the Tennessee baseball Vols as well. The promo code and the phrase that pays is TN Tony. It's so next level. Live always 200-plus leagues. Numerous bet types, props, options. And everybody gets treated like a VIP over at VIP Play. Need I say mo? Because Yamo be there. Today when the baseball season kicks off, if you have a gambling problem, 800-889-9789, 21 and over, located in the great state of Tennessee to place a bet. Yamo be there with the lovely Laura. It's going to be unbelievable, Andy. The world will never, and I mean ever, ever, ever be the same because Yamo be there. What a great way to spend Valentine's Day than for us together at the ballpark. Let's go back to our phones and get our next several set of calls in. I've got my pizza in front of me. Bino, your thoughts on this illiterate show today?
Tony, it's the show of record. Doesn't have to be literate. I prefer it when it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, quick shout out, Matt Dixon. Great Tennessee baseball preview that's in the blog today.
I love him.
We get a preview of it, email before it comes out, before the public sees it. I always send it to Freddie. He loves it. He prints it out. He uses it for reference the entire season. So check out Matt's preview on the blog.
I have the same thing. I've got it laminated in the studio. It's like what's it like, guys?
Oh, it's
a lot.
It's the Cliff Notes for Phil Steele.
That's exactly what it is. You took the words out of my mouth.
Only you can actually understand what you're reading.
Hey, Bryce, the Daytona 500 on Sunday. Is that right?
Yes.
How am I going to work the Lady Vols in with the Daytona 500, Bry?
Well, if it's me, I just wouldn't watch the Daytona 500.
Race fans!
Which I don't do anyway.
Top fuel funny cars, 265 miles per hour. Let's go back to the phones. Get our next call in. Hello and welcome. You're on the air.
Yamo be there, man. That's a great jam.
Great jam.
Late great James Ingram, Michael McDonald.
Good tune.
Hey,
excellent tune.
Yeah. I'm watching the Lady Vols, Tony. Softball.
What's the update, Freddie Jack?
What's that? 4-1. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Pickens is in. She's been her control's a little shaky, but she's all right.
OBER.
Give me a letter grade. Give me a letter grade on today's show, man.
Oh, I haven't been able to listen. I've been in and out. I listened a little bit. One thing on Nega Dave, why don't you, you know how they used to do the old show? They'd have spin-offs. And you could do a spin-off show. He could be kind of like the male Mod.
Mod?
Yeah, he
really
would be
does,
the male Mod.
He really does have that. He's got that sunny disposition. Dave's the type of guy, I mean, literally, the term pissing in your Wheaties. You're sitting there enjoying a bowl of Wheaties. He comes over and relieves himself in your Wheaties, Bino. What a miserable sports fan that guy is.
Yeah, you could give away a couple of vowels from Mod, and that would be the show name.
He's such a maniac.
Just mad would be perfect.
You know, they had 7 spin-off shows from All in the Family, and Maud was one of them.
7 spin-off shows? Really?
Yeah. I was looking it up the other night. I didn't even remember 2 or 3 of them. They didn't last too long.
Wow, I had no idea. Did Adrienne Barbeau get one of hers? And were you an Adrienne Barbeau fan back in the day? Maud's daughter, right?
You know what? No, I'm talking about off of All in the Family. That's where Maud came from.
Maud?
Adrienne Barbeau. Yeah, I be honest with you, I never watched Maud. I didn't care for it. But
really?
Yeah. Good Times.
Lady Godiva was a freedom fighter.
I can't remember all of them, but Good Times was one of them. And the Jeffersons.
Jeffersons.
There was 2 or 3 that didn't last very long.
And then there's Maud as one of the great jams of all time.
They had great show themes back in the day, didn't they, Tony?
You know, the lady that played Willona sang the Jeffersons theme.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, and Roxy Roker, who was the wife of Willis, that's help me out, Bri. That's Lenny Kravitz's
That's
mom.
Al Roker's sister.
That's Lenny
Kravitz is her son.
Yeah, it's Lenny Kravitz's mom. Are you kidding? She's related.
And the ladies get out of the 6th innings 4-1.
She's related to Al Roker?
She is Al Roker's sister.
No.
Yes.
Man. DJ asks, has Freddie Jack ever commented on sports? Only indirectly when he's taking cheap shots at me. Freddie Jack is one of our, let's say, Dave's a village idiot, which he is. Bino, you agree with that assessment of Dave, kind of a village idiot type?
No, I do not.
So what would Freddie Jack be? Freddie Jack's he's like a postman that would stop and talk to everybody. He'd still be out like 10 o'clock at night doing his route. Like if you left Freddie Jack to his own devices, Bino, we'd be here till 3 in the afternoon.
You want me to be the caller that talks about the same topic over and over again?
Oh, Freddie Jack ripping some of y'all.
Just runs it in the ground.
How, Freddie Jack, how much of today's show have you listened to? Tell the truth.
I've had a couple calls and got called away, so I haven't listened to too much of it, to be honest with you.
Give me a letter grade, what you've heard.
Oh, I think your shows are always kind of like my college papers used to be. No, it's been a good show. I like it when you're lighthearted and you and Bino let your hair down, or you think about how you could used to let your hair down.
Freddie Jack just concerned you. I agree with this. Freddie Jack is like Goober from Andy Griffith. I agree with that. It's about Goober was a very smart guy. That was a very smart character. Very low-key, a lot of wisdom in Goober. And that's sort of what you remind me of. I could just see you over there off to the side going, let's see, what would you say? Nega, Dave.
Yeah, if I'm Goober, Tony, you're Warren.
What character would I be from Andy Griffith? What character?
Warren.
You don't let the cuts out all the way, Gilly.
You're kind of a mix between Warren and Ernest T. Bass.
Who would Bino be?
I always thought Bino was kind of Howard Spraggish. He's kind of a little stiff sometimes, a little A little too much starch in his shirt.
Damn. Matt reminds me of Rafe Hollister.
Why Rafe Hollister?
I don't know. I just felt like saying it.
Yeah, Matt and Brownie and I don't know who else kind of be the Darling boys. The Darling boys.
Who's W. Lynn?
Oh, W. Lynn. Who do you think, Bino? I'll have to think.
Negative is Fred Plummer.
That's good, Bri.
Oh, the guy that played different characters?
Yes, he was different. Same actor played different characters.
Yeah.
Showed up. He was Alice's boyfriend on Brady Bunch.
Yeah, I remember him, yeah.
I love that guy. Sam the Butcher? Come on, man.
He was on Archie Bunk. He was on All in the Family,
I love
too.
him. He was one of Archie's buddies.
One of the bartenders.
Yep, one of the bartenders.
Yeah, he was, I don't know how many shows he was in, Andy Griffith. He was in several.
Some of those guys back then, they had those great, the bad guys had great faces in the 70s.
Oh, he was on Sergeant Carter. He was on
DJ
Gomer
said,
Pyle.
good night, almighty Basilio. Caller pace already. Called you a show killer. Called you a show. Wait, how do you respond to that? You got
these guys on YouTube. They won't go call in and see what you got. Talk about the same topic every day.
Oh, Freddie Jack.
These guys want to talk about the same old thing every day.
Yeah, but Freddie, they're right. You're out of here. Let's go to the phones. Today they're right. You just wasted my time. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air. Hi, you're on the air. I hope your fax went through.
Tony.
Yo.
What's up, man?
What's up, Ridge Runner?
Oh, sorry, I'm working, bro, but...
Sound like a fax just went through. I love
it. Yeah, the kind of business I'm in, you only have fax trails. You don't want electronic trails. No, I'm kidding. Tony... Bino, you got you about made me wreck this truck earlier because I mentioned some stones, some curling stones, and you mentioned which kind of mindset you have to be in to watch it. Bino, I'm sorry, man, but you had me about to wreck a vehicle laughing so hard out here.
I can't do it. I can't do it, Sam.
Well, now Joey, when are they going to find out? Tony, Monday?
They could find out today, Sammy. They said it could be days or it could be hours.
Right on. What's up, man? How you doing? Man, we're all right. Sorry, I'm working a little bit, Bino.
No,
but y'all have a good weekend. What I mentioned on the thing was, all these people are hyping up Signetti, and he had looked to be 35-year-olds out there playing football, and then. And then they're turning around and saying, "Oh, this guy's too old. He needs to go." Blah blah blah. I'm like, that don't make a whole lot of sense. But I mean, if Faison is legit, you just bring in Joey or bring back Joey, let Faison get his feet wet, and if it goes south towards the middle of the season or whatever, you put him out there.
What do you think, Bino? You agree with the Ridge Runner?
Sammy, I'm sorry. I missed what. Throw it at me one more time. I'm sorry.
He spaced.
Well, I was just saying how if Faison is the truth,
mm-hmm.
you let him get his feet wet and, learn some stuff throughout the beginning part of the season. And then if Joey's not getting it done, then, you let Brandon out there or G-Mac, whoever's, better. But
Sammy, do you find these callers over on, or the commentators over on YouTube, do you find them funny, insightful?
Yes.
Do you mind, like, when some guy just put a sheep thing out there, like a thing of a sheep? Somebody else asked, is it 420? What does that mean? What does 420 mean?
Tony, come on now. Well, considering we're in the month of February, we got to wait a couple months, folks. What's today's date? The 13th?
Yeah,
we're
13th.
We're about 2 months out.
Sammy,
and
I
then-
don't see this coach or any other coach today. Most coaches today just don't play multiple quarterbacks. I think if Aguilar's case comes through, he's eligible, he doesn't get hurt, I don't think Faison or G-Mac are going to get any. I don't think they're going to get any playing time that means anything.
Right. Well, I feel the same way. I was just kind of throwing that out there. But, yeah, I mean, if Joey comes back and he's 100% healthy, like, I don't even understand why after that season anybody would say don't bring him back. Like,
This isn't even a
and
discussion.
that, people want to
Not
say
even a
Joey
discussion.
interception.
Yeah.
Look, he did throw some bad picks. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
However, several of his picks went through our guys' hands. There was holding against the so anyway. And who is the baseball team playing today, Tony?
Morgan State.
Nickel State.
I'm sorry, Nickel State.
Morgan State. Are they out of Ohio?
No, it's a Louisiana school, Nickel State.
Okay.
Or as
Well-
John Adams would say, Bri, where are they from, Bri? How would John Adams
Thibodeau,
say?
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Look, man, they're going to get their kingdom torn down the next 2 days. Tony, who's the stud? I mentioned it in the thing. Who's the stud this year? Who's going to be jacking one over and bashing people's
Oh, there are so
windshields out
many
over
guys. There are so many. But
Really?
I think Henry Ford's going to have a big year for him. Bino, who do you like? Who's going to smash some long ones?
Tony, I mean, they're like you said, they've got 3 guys that are basically going to supply a lot of power for him. Brown will as well, and of course, so will Levi Clark.
And let's not forget my personal boy, Blake Grimmer. That's my guy right there out of Michigan. He may not get many swings, but, buddy, the swings he gets, he makes count. He hits some long bombs.
Yeah, starting out with a back issue, Tony, you never know, especially in a short season, how that's going to work out for someone. But hopefully he's going to be healthy quick here and ready to go. Because he can hit it a long ways.
Yeah, I mean, now, with all this money coming in, we've got some drugs over there like Alabama had back in the day.
Damn, you
or
can't
still
say
does.
it, Sammy. You can't.
But
come on, Sammy.
Listen,
that's negative.
as far as the basketball team goes, Tony, this is a perfect setup this weekend because this is one of we've talked, and it's just so frustrating, and I want to rip my freaking hair out watching them. How Jekyll and Hyde they
I already
are.
have.
And it's like, can we not put our foot on somebody's throat and just put them away?
No,
I mean,
not this
I
team.
hope, if any team is going to do it to, it's going to be tomorrow night. Sorry for your guy from Oak Ridge, but I feel like they're going to get their kingdom torn down tomorrow as well.
Sammy, I feel like several teams that we're involved with are getting their kingdoms torn down this weekend, including Texas. Kim Caldwell is going to come back and have a win for the ages on Sunday when they rip Texas's kingdom down in front of about 12,000 people.
Yeah, that would be nice because she needs to do that after that embarrassing few losses that they had the past week or so. But Tony, he has a third scorer. He has multiple third scorers. If the threes aren't falling or if they're out of whack, slow it down, put it inside, give Estrella the ball, give Terry the ball down on the block, and let them go to work. Love your show, Tony.
Incredible.
Go Big Orange.
A call by which all others will be judged for the rest of the show. Hi, you're on the air.
This is overtime to the overtime, Tone.
Hey, welcome in.
I don't even know what I was going to say at this point, brother. What's going on, Tone? Who's your ball, Ryan?
Who's your ball, Ryan? Great today's show.
A+, man. I've been laughing my ass off for about 30 minutes.
Just totally stupid, right? Just totally stupid.
And I was going to add to it, not only do I believe we should not suspend Dave, I think he needs a show called Almost Losers and Losers, where he does pick them.
Because nobody's a winner. Nobody's a winner, Bino.
No one's a winner. It's just who gets their ass kicked and who almost got their ass kicked in his mind.
Even though I've met Dave, who's a very, very gregarious and smiley guy, he really is, which is kind of interesting.
Really?
Yes, he really smiles all the time. But what's interesting about him, if you picture him, he sounds like he would be like a male version of Beatrice Arthur. He sounds like
I didn't know Maud was a woman.
Well, he sounds like interesting. He sounds like he should be eating prunes at all times, Bino. Dave sounds like the inside of a fig Newton or something, Bino.
Well, Dave's got that gravelly voice, and I never put it together with who he is. And like he told you, I've known him for 30 years, but I never could put until you gave me his last name. I couldn't put the voice together with the guy that I knew.
And I only found out because he won a prize from us. He were like, oh, you made Dave up, and Dave is this, and it's a plant. And I'm like, I ain't a plant. I attract nuts.
I mean, if he was making this character, he has Andy Kaufman-like chops where what was Andy Kaufman's dude that he never admitted he was that person, the real obnoxious lounge singer?
It was the thing on Tony Clifton, and it was on Taxi, and I read a book on Taxi, and I saw Mary Lou Henner talk about this. She said Andy Kaufman came on our set and stayed in Tony Clifton character the entire time and said some of the crassest, most crude things to me while we were setting up to film the scene, and never broke character. And they were like, Andy, you can't treat her like that. Like Judd Hirsch went after him, like wanted to fist fight him. You can't talk to Mary Lou like that. And he was doing that whole Tony Clifton thing. That show was brilliant. That Louis De Palma character, the guy that did the Reverend Jim, what was his name? Christopher Lloyd, maybe? Christopher Lloyd. That was a brilliant television show.
They don't make them like they used to. The last great funny show to me is The Office. Most shows I don't even find funny anymore.
Office is the best show ever.
Let me ask you guys this. I know it's apples to oranges. If Michigan makes the playoffs this year in football, do you think that Joey's going to play, and I'm rooting like heck for him. But do you think that lends any credence to letting the kids play? If I told you Michigan will make the playoffs this year, I know it's apples to oranges, but I mean, to me, I think wouldn't Faison probably be about as good as that kid they started this year?
No idea. The thing about five-star quarterbacks is Faison could be a great player. He could be absolute garbage. And who knows? I mean, I have no idea. Yeah. Till you see him on a college field, I am done proclaiming anybody ready to play. So, but my thing, though, is I look at this season, and I'm not going to get into this because Joey's in court right now, and he's going to win, and it's great.
Yeah, it's going to happen, so might as well get behind it.
But the reason I was just giving my opinion is that I'm not sure if it's what's good for 2027, and that's kind of what you're getting at.
Well, who knows?
Because I know what coaches do. Bino, how much opportunity will the 2 young kids get to play in games if Joey Agalar's back? Because I know what coaches do.
If he stays healthy, they won't play a significant minute.
Nope. They won't even attempt to work him in the games.
I'll tell you who had a bad day in court yesterday, other than the NCAA, was old Lane Kiffin in Baton Rouge with Trinidad Chambliss coming back. Have y'all looked at LSU's schedule? I'm not convinced we're going to lose to them. I can see them going 8-4.
It's a hell of a schedule. And if Trinidad Chambliss is on it in early September, that is going to be
and that's in Oxford.
Wow. Bino, you imagine the atmosphere in that place?
I saw it here. I know pretty much what it's going to be there.
Yes. It's going to be a blood sport there.
And it's going to be a lot more raw for them than it was for us.
But here's the thing, Beanstar. They have to, in a sense, be indebted to Lane Kiffin because he breathed life into that garbage down there, what they've always had.
Yeah, but they don't have to be less than a year from when it happened.
No, you're right.
At some point they will be. Right now is not that time.
He breathed life into their trash program.
Yes, he did.
Well, guys, y'all have a happy Valentine's Day. I've run out of things to say.
You too, Ryan.
Thank you, man. Who's your Ryan? Love you, brother. By the way, he's a barrister, Ryan is. And Andy Kaufman, while he was on the TV show, Bino, was a barista and a waiter at a place in New York City just to do it. And they would say to him, aren't you... And he would just look at him and go, could I take your order? And he would stay straight in character. This guy was a kook of the highest order. Any final thoughts, Bino, on the way out? It was a great show today. And by the way, Negative will have my final thought, which is there have been more 5-star busts than successors. He's happy, Bino, isn't he? Always looks on the bright side of life. Old Negative.
Tony, everybody have a great weekend. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you out there.
Bino,
Go Big Orange.
Bino, you're my Valentine.
Every facet.
Bino, you're my Valentine, brother. You're in my heart, man.
Love you, Tony.
Love, man. Love you, Brian.
See ya.
Till we meet again, I want to thank everybody. It's been great. Negative, you ought to be like a life coach. You'd be a great life coach. Encouraging, nurturing, loving, just non-judgmental, forbearing, patient, kind, sweet, just a great sports fan. You belong with those nuts in Philly, Dave. You found Radio Free Tennessee. Your Tony Basilio show will begin momentarily. All right, let me fast forward.
Keep it locked in right here at TonyBasilio.com and on your Tony Basilio app. And hey, do us a favor.
Spread the word. Thunderbird. What's a price? 40 twice. How long does it go, Laura? Good God. There I am. There I am. Afternoon. How about that? There I am. How about that, Beanstar? Hang on.
Just a cornucopia of sports going on, Tony.
But
it's a orange storm.
How do you work this damn thing, Tony? Orange storm. Go back. There it is. Trying to work this darn device. Jeez Louise, Tony. You want to hear a man have a meltdown? Riveting radio. Riveting. Tennessee baseball there you today. Go. Love y'all. With Tegan Coons on the bump. showing off their brand new pitching staff all weekend long. And then finally, Texas coming to town on Sunday. Bino, how fired up folks and prepared for you? For you, Bino. How fired up folks and prepared are you for that?
Yeah, we got a full boat weekend coming up here, Tony. It's good to have baseball back. It means baseball weather can't be far behind.
Oh, me and my lovely are going out today. We celebrate Valentine's weekend. In true Laura fashion, Bino, you know what she said to me today? You ready for this morning?
Yes,
she
I'm ready.
said, now, are we really going to the game today, or were you kidding? Now, Bino, she says, you know, you like to do this thing, and you're on the radio, and I don't know whether you're serious or not. And I said, of course we're going to the game. Now, I don't know how much of the game I'm going to, Bino. Like, the high today is what, around 60-ish?
Oh, it'll be mid-50s, Tony, when the game starts, and high 40s when it ends, looks like.
So, Brian, it's like a nightly occurrence, right, in college sports now? Does
Here's
this
that way.
always happen?
It's an epidemic. It's an epidemic.
Yes.